Hey, did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, it's the most common form of cancer among men ages 15 to 35. April is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, which is why we wanted to take a second to talk about men's health issues. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society in an amazing nonprofit organization sort of partnership here. Manscaped is putting action behind words, and they're donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society to help save lives and promote routine checks. And we've been talking about that a little bit. It's important.
Yes.
Get them checked.
It is. Know them like the back of your hand? No. Know them like all of your nuts. That is how it should be.
Jesse, do you have anything to build off of on that?
No,
You can't go anywhere with that?
Manscaped, they make great stuff. They donate to great causes. Can't complain about Manscaped.
And they dropped a special edition bundle that helps support this amazing cause, the TCS Ball Hero Bundle, which includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra TCS Special Edition and a special TCS Boxers 2.0. It's not just Boxers, it's Boxers 2.0.
Adam.
Yeah.
They're going to hire me in the marketing department after this, so you're going to have to find a new co-host. Manscaped. It's in the bag.
Oh, stop it. Join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use that promo code DANGLE for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. It's promo code DANGLE for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
Use the slogan.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Hello there. Okay, and just moments ago, we found out the Senators are being investigated for apparently lobbing pucks down the ice at Anthony Stolarz during warm-up.
Jail!
And I
Is
know
that the reason? Because LeBron tweeted it, and it was just Dreger tweeted it.
Dreger tweeted it,
and it was nothing.
Yeah,
he tweeted literally, "There's an investigation. I have no info."
Yes.
So do we know that?
We do know that
it's pucks.
Yes.
Okay.
Friedman tweeted the video, and even as a Leafs fan, what a big old steaming pile of nothing.
Absolutely. It's going to send. I mean, I love it for the playoffs because I think first off, Sens fans are operating at a pretty high voltage right now already.
Justified crash out.
And
honestly,
they're gonna if there's any sort of fine or penalty or something here, they're gonna lose their minds. Now, from the NHL perspective,
it should be a warning.
Yeah, it probably should.
It's
be a warning.
ridiculous that this is even a topic of conversation. What are we talking about?
Well, I think
they're two friends.
Yeah, I think that the NHL is just overprotective of warmups because there used to be brawls at warmup, right? And they don't want to cause some sort of issue and it be a problem or whatever. So I hope, and I think the Leafs probably hope too. It's just say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, but they are and they aren't because when was the last time we had any kind of conversation like this? About guys being friends in warm up and doing stuff and the NHL investigating it? Chill.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think it was 2018. Brad Marchand goes to lick Leo Komarov. I don't think he actually did it, but everyone was like, hey, that's pretty gross. Don't do that. And so the NHL went to Brad. No, they didn't. They went to the Boston Bruins and they said, hey, talk to Brad. And they said, okay, Brad, you've been spoken to. And he goes, I'm Brad. And then in the second round, he actually licked a guy. And you know what happened then? Nothing.
Right. I'm pulling up the picture. I'm pretty sure he licked them.
Oh, did he lick Komarov?
Yeah.
I didn't think he actually made tongue to sweaty face contact.
I'm looking it up. And
of all the guys to lick.
Yeah, it's...
So that's the Callahan one.
That's the Callahan one, which is gross. But if you look... I'm trying to pull up a tweet version of this, Jesse, but I'll send it over.
It's okay.
Yeah, anyway. At very least, it looks like he's giving him a nice kiss on the cheek.
What's happening with today in now times? I'm so confused because there are so many more important things the NHL has not investigated or has chosen to not fix. And this is the one thing we're getting a huge scuttlebutt about.
Well,
amongst
it's the thing this morning. It could change by this afternoon, right?
Are they just trying to spam the SEO for what comes up when you type in NHL investigation?
Great point, Steve. Because there are a lot of things,
involving investigations
that it could have been involved criminal activity that the NHL should be investigating, and we get pucks flying at Stolarz from his buddy.
Listen,
the league is a joke.
I don't have a problem with the NHL being all right, knock it off. They did something with Joel Hofer and Mark Scheifele have been fighting to be the last man off the ice in the Jets Blues series, which is weird because, like, Joel, you're not even playing. Like,
right.
You're the backup goalie. I've seen these contests before. I've never seen them with the backup goalie who's not even playing. Like, get into the game, get involved somehow, I guess, which is what Nick Cousins is trying to do here. Just talk to him. A fine. After, what's the name of the new owner again?
Andlauer?
Andlauer. Oh, I'd lose my mind if I was Andlauer.
Yeah.
After the draft pick thing, and he is leading a campaign of I am getting those damn draft picks back. And then to go from not getting your draft picks back to actually I'm getting fined over this nothing burger. Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I think so too. So we'll see what happens. I hope this doesn't.
I hope nothing happens.
I hope nothing happens too. I totally agree with you,
I hope
Jesse.
they get another first round pick. Fine them.
Now, the Leafs take a 3-0 lead in a best-of-7 series for the first time since the 2001 East quarterfinal versus the Senators. The top songs in 2001, I'm Real by Jennifer Lopez and Ja Rule at number 5.
Wow.
Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Tell me.
All For You, Janet Jackson.
Oh, banger.
Fallen from Alicia Keys. And the number one song, Hanging by a Moment from Lifehouse.
Steve, did you know Adam doesn't like Alicia Keys? And he says she can't sing.
I think she stinks.
That's something
What?
Maddie told me that the other day
Art.
because she was playing in the Sport Check where
Thanks.
we're recording, and they're playing over the speakers in the store, and Alicia Keys is on, and Maddie goes, you know Adam thinks Alicia Keys stinks?
she's like it's like the mid-apocalypse whenever her songs come on. It's just
what
bad.
are
just
you
bad.
talking about?
Boring. Boring.
No, this is
Boring.
trauma.
Boring.
This is trauma talking.
Boring.
Because in the same way that the Leafs scarred me in my youth, you were scarred by top 40 music. And you had to listen to, in your DJ days, so many ass songs so many times.
Yeah.
So Alicia Keys comes up in the rotation, you're taking her out.
I would if I could, but I couldn't. I wasn't allowed. You're not allowed to touch the music, right? That's the
I think
thing.
Alicia Keys has made her whole career off of being a good singer and a great piano player.
Like
great.
one of
And-
the best.
And I think like she's probably good.
Oh yeah, listen. There's a
'Cause
lot of
that's
people
what
out there
she's
that
made
like
her
bad
career.
music. Like Maroon 5 sells out
Oh,
every tour.
wow.
I can't listen. I can't be objective about this. I am biased. You're probably right. But Alicia Keys just is not for me.
She has like all-time songs where
Yes.
if
For
you
other
put- if
people,
you
I
put-
think.
No, but
What?
but I mean like if you put it on, everybody in the room would recognize that song. Like there isn't a human that wouldn't know some lyrics.
I would say that. I
Like,
would say
that's
that.
a stratosphere that most artists in the world don't reach.
I would say that "Fallen" is her best song, which was her first single. That was the "I Keep on Falling."
Yeah.
that one.
And you don't like that song.
I don't. That of all her songs, that would be the one I would put on. Is that fair?
You're a
I
bum.
don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely
I
not
think
put in
it's-
the
I think
Jay-Z
it's
New York Empire State of Mind
Okay,
song. Like
that-
enough.
No one.
No,
I don't like
absolutely
that
not.
one. But she's a very good singer.
Well.
Like, you're not saying she doesn't make good music. You're saying she's not a good singer.
Yeah, you don't even think
Which
she's
is-
talented.
Pooh.
I don't know if I said that she wasn't talented. I think clearly, like, people respond to her.
I think you said she killed the Pope.
I have to be honest.
what
Like, there are
you
certain
said.
songs. It's like there are certain artists, I guess, maybe where for whatever reason, it's just lost on me. So like Meghan Trainor is another one. I've never been emotionally moved by a Meghan Trainor song.
See, like
I've never been
I don't
emotionally
think-
moved
I don't
by
think
a Alicia Keys song.
and Meghan Trainor should go in the same
I think
category.
they're the exact same person.
Yeah.
Like,
I think.
I think Sens fans and Leafs fans, Adam, what you're doing is great ambassadorship.
Am I bringing
think
people together?
Yes. All 16 playoff teams right now can be like, how dare you?
Yeah.
And defend their queen, Alicia.
That's right.
yeah. So like if
Swiss Beats is gonna come kick my ass. I know
Swiss
that.
Beats should kick your ass.
if I Ain't Got You
While
comes
blaring
on,
spit these bars.
and it's some people want. You
Oh,
remember
that-
she screwed up at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but like if that song comes on, you're not singing along to it a little.
I know all the words. I played the song every 70 minutes for a year. Like that.
There it is.
I
it
know
is.
the song.
There it is.
I'm aware.
This is trauma. This is
It
scar
is trauma?
tissue. This is trauma.
That's weird.
All right. Well, listen. Top 5 movies of 2001 when the Leafs were last up 3-0.
Still doing this.
Yeah, we're still friggin' doing this. Okay, this is my bit. Let me start. You know what, Jesse? You're real mean. You were really nice to me during the pre-show last night. You're being really mean today. What did I do to you? Come on, I'm just trying to give you the top movies.
Jesse likes Alicia Keys. He's correct.
The Mummy Returns.
Wow.
Rush Hour 2.
Wow, not even.
No.
Oh, he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
Monsters Inc., the original.
No.
Shrek. Number
The original?
two. Yeah,
Oh, number two.
and then Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh wow.
That's how long it's been. Since
Wait,
Toronto's
that's
been up
the
3-0.
first Harry Potter movie?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
First Harry Potter movie, the last time Toronto's up 3-0 in a series.
Wow.
So, Sens fans, as much as you might be upset, look at what we have to deal with here. It's not a great history.
No.
So, last night's game, I felt like was another microcosm of what both sides have been saying about this series. There are people that will tell you, well, the Sens are dominating 5-on-5, and then there will be people that will tell you, well, the Leafs they're doing the park the bus thing we talked about in the pre-show, Jess, where it's like we're going to sit in front of the net and take a bunch of pucks off our face. And
I thought they did a really good job. Brady Tkachuk got them with a weird one, and it's tied.
But didn't Adam Gaudette the night before?
No.
That was a weird one.
To me, that was no. It was the Sens. That to me was the Sens making their own luck, whereas that was Tkachuk, I think, getting frustrated with like the Leafs were just bleeding that game dry. They were time vampires. Every time you look up, puck went this way, puck went that way, 45 seconds are gone off the clock. And they were just bleeding the third period dry along the walls mostly and behind the nets. And Brady Tkachuk is like, I'm just going to be huge. And he goes and his shot rides up, I think, Brandon Carlo's blade. And that's why it fooled Stolarz the way it did.
Right.
So I think it was just one of those things. Their overall strategy was the third period was their best period.
Well, I suppose that's my point, though, is that there will be people that look at that and go, just like they have in the first two games, the Leafs are getting outplayed at a certain thing. And we've talked about this, that Jesse, you mentioned it pretty vehemently on the pre-show yesterday. It was like, that is their strategy. This is what they do.
Yeah, outplayed is the wrong. If anybody's arguing the Leafs are outplayed, like I think that's a wrong way to look at the game. Like it was the Brady Tkachuk shot on goal was the first shot the Leafs allowed in the third period,
which is crazy.
The Gaudette goal that happened was the first shot that the Leafs allowed in the third period. They're actually playing extremely well.
Yeah,
like,
which doesn't look great on Stolarz, but like that's if you ignore the context of the
exactly 100% their context.
Did you see Justin Bourne's stats from before last night's game?
We talked a little bit about it on the pregame, but it's worth bringing up again.
Yeah. So this is just in the first two games. Expected goals when the game is tied: 1.33 for the Leafs, 0.42 for the Sens. When up 1.85 for the Leafs, 1.74 for the Sens. So tight, but still advantage Leafs. When up 2, it is 4.36 for the Sens, 2.27 for the Leafs. Shot attempts when tied, 21-20 for the Leafs. Shot attempts when up 1, it is 43-31 for Ottawa, and then 83-47 complete domination from Ottawa. When the Leafs are up 2, shots when it's tied, 11-9. Up 1, it is 16-16, and then Ottawa has a 10-shot advantage. Even slot shots, the Leafs had the advantage when it's tied. To me, it's all score effects, and the stats show it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think
it made me feel better. Because we were just saying that pissing into the wind, like based off of what we watched.
We were saying that because we watched the game.
Yes. Sorry, not pissing into the wind, but just the eye test.
No, and then we bring stats. Like I told you about their abilities to hold leads going into the third period. Like no, Steve, I think give ourselves credit for understanding these
Jesse,
games.
I couldn't possibly. I couldn't possibly. Goodness gracious.
Like, I don't know.
Chess, they did win the expected goals battle at the end of the day. I know that no one really cares after the game, but the Leafs are winning those types of stats too.
Expected by whom?
Expected by exactly. These are the questions.
The chart shows. What the game was. The Sens kicked the Leafs' ass for like a little bit, a pocket of time in that game, and overall it was very tight.
When they opened the scoring, what was the feeling as a fan in your gut, guys?
Here it is. Because I knew the Leafs weren't going to lead every single moment of this series. Oh, there they got one. I mean, the first thing I thought was, attaboy, Willie, what a stupid penalty. Mm-hmm. It was very frustrating because Nye's got a penalty at the very end of the first period. I thought it was completely unjustified. Like, send him to the box, fine. Sending him to the box without Thomas Chabot going with him is game management nonsense. And then Willie makes a good play to like wait for reinforcements, coughs up the puck, and then he trips. I think it was Ridley Grigg, and now the Leafs are down 5-on-3 for like a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the Leafs, but I was like, the Sens are scoring here. And it wasn't even like defeatism. I was just like, they're due. They're due for something to go their way, and it did.
Jesse, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, a good team's going to score at 5-on-3 on the power play in the playoffs. Like
With that much
Sens,
time.
And the Sens are a good team, and there's so much time. Yeah, and like I don't think anybody thought that the Leafs would stop that. It would have been very, very.
That would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy of them to do that. So like once he took that penalty, you're kind of like, okay, they might get one here, and it's fine. But up until that point, like Leafs played a great game. I think the first period was tight.
Yeah,
you know, I think it was even on both sides. So one goal isn't the end of the world because somebody's going to score eventually. And they scored on special teams, and that's where like the difference maker in the playoffs often happens because things are tight at 5-on-5, and those are the first two goals. Each team got a special teams goal. So the Willie penalty itself, yeah, ugly stuff. Like you make him holding the puck for that long where he goes around the back and he comes around the front and he's holding it. I think he's frustrated that he got the puck knocked off his stick.
I know.
Because it rarely happens, but he didn't spot the guy and the poke check.
Such a good shift.
Yeah.
Right up until that.
It was fantastic. And then he needs to keep his cool a little better in that split second moment because that's all it was. Is puck is off your stick. You don't have it anymore. I'm sorry, Willie. You're used to holding it for so long, but it's the playoffs. Things are tighter, and you can't take a bad penalty when somebody takes the puck off your stick.
Right. Now, the Leafs' lethal power play. When have we had the chance to say that in the playoffs?
Man.
Lethal power play scores on their first opportunity in the second period. Matthew Nyes, and it's just a dribbler. Just a little squeaked in.
So I was thinking about this. Like the Leafs are getting every bounce in that regard. Like I think if you haven't been watching them, or if you're a Sens fan and you're going, dude, what the like, everything seems to be going in. Where has this been in years past? Is this just luck finally going their way? No, they are making their own luck. Is anyone in this store? Go to the net. Good things happen. Very simple. That's Nyes passes the puck behind his back and it goes off of Shane Pinto's skate. Matthews swipes at it, does not hit it. Allmark, like I don't. It might be the slowest goal in NHL history.
Right.
Like, go to the net. Good things happen.
By the way, Steve means the Sport Check at Maple Leaf Square. When he
Yes,
talks
I
about the
sure
store.
do.
Got our jerseys crested there. Got some fresh Leafs jersey. You got an away jersey, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Yes.
In honor of the
I could use one.
Game 3 and Game 4.
Yeah.
The power play since February 1st is running at 30%. In the playoffs, the Leafs are number one in the power play percentage. In the playoffs, they're running at 55% over these three games.
Wow.
It's
probably
ridiculous.
probably sustainable.
It's I think this is exactly what we've asked for the Leafs of years past, and they are delivering.
They are.
And how many power play opportunities did they even get in this game?
This game in particular,
I'll look at that.
they
I can't
were
remember. Maybe
I have
two?
it in front of me. It is 1 for 2.
Yeah.
1 for 2.
Yeah.
So Nye scores, and then Matthew scores right at the beginning, 30 seconds into the third period. This is interesting because it's really Morgan Rielly ringing the puck around. Mitch Marner makes a crazy play through his legs. Just an unbelievable redirection pass.
Bro.
And Linus Ullmark is looking the other direction.
That's how, I mean, it looks terrible and it's super memeable. I don't hang this on him.
I don't either.
Ken Reed came on the show once and he was talking about, I think Ken Reed of Sportsnet is well within his right to talk about the state of broadcasting in sports. And he talked about, how come every time there's a goal, we got to break down what went wrong there? Why can't we just go, holy crap, that was insane? So, yeah, Matthews is left alone. I think any coach will tell you, perhaps a poor decision.
Sure.
What Mitch Marner did in that instance is insane. You have at least a second or two to catch up to Matthews under almost every other circumstance.
Because if Mitch corrals, and then that advantage is gone.
If Mitch does what any other player does, that doesn't go in. But this was a special play between, one thing, we keep talking about the Sens' lack of playoff experience. The Leafs core for God's sake, should have a chemistry advantage in, you would think, nearly every series they go into. But what core has been together longer? There's not many. And I mean, this was just two guys linked brainwaves communicating through the Kala, like the Protoss in StarCraft. Shout out to the 25 or 30 people who understood that reference. Like, it was just an unbelievable play by Mitch. And for Austin to know that it's coming.
Yeah.
That's just some next level stuff.
Right. And like I don't understand why people were talking about Matthews being cold starting the series and all of that. Like,
He's 4 assists.
Like, how dare you? He's got 4 assists. Marner's got 5. Through 3 games in this series, the core 4 has 19 points. Over the entire series, 7 games last year, they had 12.
Wow.
So, and like some of that's Willie missed time, Matthews missed time in the Bruins series.
Yeah.
And but if they're not scoring, they're not winning.
But it's
right?
19-12, 3 games in.
Yeah. The Bruins
to
strangled them.
Yeah.
And Swayman was very good.
I think too, you look at the contributions from like a Morgan Riley and a Matthew Nyes too, right? Both of them have 2 goals. And getting goals from places, and we'll talk about Benoit in a little bit here.
Oh my
getting more production from guys like those guys, because in years past it was like, okay, it's the core 4, and if they're scoring, then they can win. But they do need guys outside of that to do it, and they are.
Well, how about they had the worst goal total from defensemen in the entire NHL in the regular season? I think Riley has 2, OEL has 1, kicked off the series. Benoit has 1.
Yep. I think that's it for defense, but that's
4 through 3 games. Has the Leafs D-core scored 4 goals in 3 games at any point this season?
probably not.
I don't think so.
Right. Yeah.
Like, things are, listen. Series isn't won. That's the attitude I'm taking. You need another win. The Leafs have won 3 games in a series many, many times. Things are going well. Things are going real,
Hey, they
real
did it
well.
last year. They were down 3-1.
I'm so proud of myself for the way I'm handling the
they didn't
series
do it
so
last
far.
year. They did too.
So far.
So far. Brady Tkachuk got a sort of a shot that I think went off of Carlos' stick.
I think so too.
And then snuck past Anthony Stollers with about 8 or 9 minutes left in the third period. So both teams fight it out to overtime. And then in overtime, and I think everybody knows what's going to happen here. The Leafs win a face-off draw on, I think, their second shift of the period. Second or third.
Maybe.
And
it was the second time the Leafs' top line was out there, I think.
Okay, so maybe that's what they did. Anyway, Austin wins it cleanly. Simon Benoit shoots, and it's in.
Dude, like...
Now, I'll give...
on a one-timer.
Yeah.
Like, you have left-handed Oliver Ekman-Larsson right there, and it's Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And Benoit's like, it's Simone Benoit time. What? I can't believe he shot that puck. I really can't. But why not shoot that puck? You have Nyes with his big ass in front. Those are his words, not mine.
Yep.
And Matthews doing the Benny hop.
Yep.
In front. Yeah. Why not? Why not shoot that puck?
I saw some propaganda about people trying to give Matthew Nyes the goal, and that he touched it, and that's what
it was originally credited to him.
Yeah, no, it's Benoit's. Like,
it's 100%.
Let's give it to Benoit, and it's his ability in that moment to just think, get pucks on net.
Yep.
Like, who cares what happens? I don't know if this is going to go in or not. As long as the puck is going towards the net, there's going to be chaos. Something's going to happen. Something good is going to happen because there's guys there.
Yes.
And I love that mentality about just shoot first. It's overtime too, and I think that's especially key in the whole instance. If this is the first period, maybe he doesn't shoot that because it's not as pressing of a moment. But because it's OT and you're just trying to get bounces, throw it on net, and then it's a goal. It's beautiful. And that's like second straight game. He's the most important piece on the game-winning OT goal.
Like, just 2 excellent reads. Really excellent reads.
The first time it's him entering the zone on a break with Domi, as everybody expected, and then next time it's just throwing pucks on net. Like, credit Benoit. Like, oh my gosh.
His career high in goal scoring at any level of hockey since he was a teenager was 5 goals in a season in the QMJHL. Where he went undrafted.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people are understanding how unlikely this goal was, and I would like to articulate it for you.
Please.
So a name that you saw get brought up a lot, and some of you youngins aren't going to remember this name, Corey Cross.
Yes.
Big, lumbering Corey Cross. Let me tell you a little bit about Corey Cross. War number 4 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 54 years old now. He was 6'5", 219 pounds. And I think 219 pounds might have been underselling it. A big, lumbering, slow defenseman, very of his era, right?
It was the neutral zone trap era.
Yeah. You want a depth defenseman, a guy in your third pair? Well, he might as well be huge.
Yep.
How's his skating ability? Who gives a good gosh darn, as long as he's mean. Zero offense. Well, in one of the first, if not the first battles of Ontario, he scores a playoff overtime winning goal. And it was one of the most unlikely outcomes. He was probably the most unlikely guy on that Leafs team to score a goal. He finished his career with 34 regular season goals in 659 games. He had 2 playoff goals in 47 career playoff games. That was in that one run. It was in 2001. That would have been the Leafs Battle of Ontario against the Ottawa Senators. So he played 706 career games, regular season and playoff combined, for 36 goals in his career. That gave you, if you watched every game of Corey Cross's career, a 5.1% chance of seeing a game where Corey Cross scored a goal.
Right.
Heading into last night's game, there was a 2.08% chance of you watching a game where Simone Benoit scored a goal in the NHL. Even after that game, it's 2.4%. The Benoit goal last night had less than half of the likelihood of happening of the Corey Cross goal from 2001. My wife was like, oh, imagine someone bet on this. I'm like, no sportsbook would have offered
odds.
Simone Benoit goal odds.
There's no way. Yeah.
He has, I believe that brings his career NHL goal total up to 7. Last game, in game 2, he gets his first career NHL point with a primary assist on an OT winner. He gets his first NHL goal. Playoff goal on a playoff OT winner. Simone Benoit's career playoff points have exclusively been on overtime winners. This is the goofiest thing ever, and it gets even goofier because this morning, the NHL, every morning they send out the morning skate email with stats on it. Benoit became the 7th defenseman in Stanley Cup playoff history to factor on an overtime goal in consecutive games. The others, Ivan Provorov from 2020, Scott Niedermayer from 2007, Hall of Fame, Rob Blake from 2001, Hall of Fame, Chris Chelios from 1995, Hall of Fame, Rick Smith from 1978, I'm not familiar, and Serge Savard from 1969, Hall of Fame. Even better, fastest overtime goals by defensemen in Stanley Cup playoff history. Chris Tanev actually has the fastest.
Oh.
I had no idea. This was from 2020. That's why I had no idea. It was 11 seconds in. Other names on this list include Bobby Orr, Eric Desjardins, Nick Lidstrom, and a minute 19 into last night's game, cracking the top 10 is Simone Benoit.
Yeah.
You may never see this again in your lifetime. Like, unbelievably unlikely thing.
I liked what he had to say about it. He said, I didn't quite know how to react, to be honest.
He stood there.
I just lifted both of my arms. I didn't move, and I saw all those guys coming towards me. Such a good feeling. I guess there's a bit of luck on my side for now. And I find that's the funniest part, is like he didn't know what to, because when Max Domi scored,
he knew exactly what to do.
He knew he got the assignment, and those pictures are amazing.
But I encourage
those are the
everyone,
best selling pictures ever.
Go back and watch, though, the celebration from the Game 2 winner. Because Domi, everyone's following Domi. Benoit just stands in front for a sec. And at some point, he realizes what's happened. Like, he didn't look at the net when the puck went in.
Oh, right.
He was just doing a flyby.
He's still trying to make a play.
And he sees his friend celebrating. He's probably like, oh, why is Max going to the bench for a change?
The puck is in the net.
Benoit like jumps and then slams his stick on the ice, probably because he's seen it in movies. Like, he didn't know what to do. This man is a playoff OT hero, and it's one of the most unlikely things we've seen happen to the Leafs in a very, very long time.
Yep. And
awesome.
It's given rise to, first off, I love seeing Austin yelling, Benny, 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 like when it went in, trying to like get it through his skull that he scored. The other thing is, Jesse, can we bring up the tweet I sent you? This is the greatest picture. It's the greatest hockey picture of all time. It's Matthew Nyes jumping about a half a foot off the ice and Spartacat looking on in shock and awe as the goal goes in. It is maybe the best picture in hockey I've ever seen. I hope
Spartacat's mouth doesn't move, right? That's just permanent.
No.
that's just permanent, but it just is so perfect.
Listen, Sens fans. I know, listen, I've been there. This morning sucks. I get it. That's objectively very funny.
What's the mascot website that we were looking at?
Mascots looking at things?
Yes.
Or no, mascots during moments of silence.
I feel like there should be a mascot for that mascot site.
And there was like the Italian flamingo, and oh my god, Spartacat! Like
it's a great.
The memes last night. The Leaf subreddit was just unbelievable. Benoit jumping and punching the Sens logo, and
so
it's a great 24 hours to be a Leaf fan.
On the Senator side, I can't blame them for being a little bit flummoxed by this all. Like it's a little bit mystifying because you see your team that's able to play so well. You've pushed 2 games to overtime, and it's just not happened for you. And I think because of the first game, I think it's carryover from the first game. The questions about Linus Ullmark are there, and I think he's lost 4 or 5 straight in the playoffs now.
He lost game 2 last year with the Bruins. He would have lost game. Did he lose game 6 for them?
I think so. Something like that.
In the Panthers series? Oh, boy.
So my question to you guys is, do you hang any of that on Linus Ullmark? Because I don't think I do.
Last night, I mean, for both OT winners, the Domi one and Benoit one, he doesn't see the puck. He doesn't see it at all. And I don't think that's his fault. I think it's the Leafs doing a really good job and the Sens struggling to deal with all that. One goes off of another teammate skate. So for the second straight game, one of his own players scores against him.
Yep.
And then what else? Matthews.
I mean, the Marner play was just otherworldly.
The meme is very funny and doesn't make Ullmark look good. And maybe you can hang some of it on him. It's a full team. Everyone blew it. Everyone blew it on that play. So, like, what are they going to do? Go to someone else for game 4? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, he is their star goaltender. He is the guy that they signed to a long-term deal.
If you're going to do that to him in year 1 of this thing, you're screwed.
I don't even know if that's year 1. Like, this extension doesn't kick in till the summer? Yeah, the extension doesn't kick in.
You're right.
Yes, he had a year left and then signed the extension.
The Bruins are so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at them.
I know. Jesse, do you hang any of this on him? Is the criticism that he is taking warranted?
No, I think it's silly to think that Ullmark's even a little bit responsible for any of these losses. Like, I don't think he's the reason they're down 0-3.
There's some times where I feel like teams get outmatched. Like, I'm watching obviously the Habs and Caps series, and Montreal fans got upset when I said that there's a huge talent differential. Like, the Caps are just better. They're just way better. And I'm not saying the differential here in this series is anything like that series. But Habs fans were upset about that. I don't expect them to react rationally, but the Caps are objectively a better team. We're coming in, we're completely favored, and by the way, they're showing you why. They're running the Habs over here.
The Habs have more high-end talent than we thought they did. Mm-hmm. But if you look throughout the lineup, like, you're just objectively correct.
Yeah, and I think, like, you look at what they're trying to do, and it's like, wow, the fans are like, well, we need to get our Bergerac guy back in, or we need to get Michael Pezzetta in. I'm like, the Caps will feast on that. They're not going to fight those guys. Well, they're just going to let them go off. And so I feel like in this scenario too, it's a little bit like when Toronto was in against Washington in 17, when they were in against Boston in 18. Those teams were objectively better. If Toronto was going to win those series were going to be ones that they stole, that they took a little bit from, that people really were not favoring them to win. And I feel like that's, if you're an underdog team, you kind of have to embrace the underdog role, which is the most likely outcome is you're going to lose.
The tricky, well, yes, there is that. The tricky thing is when you're losing, you assume it's for a reason. And all right, It's sort of like at the beginning of the season where I'm like, I cannot believe the Leafs are running this core back. We've seen it not work enough times that we can be done here. Similarly, okay, well, we're down 0-2. We're losing. Let's make a big change. Let's do something, anything. What did the Habs do in 2021 to turn the series around against the Leafs? I don't think it was anything, if I remember correct. They might have got... Did they get Jake Evans back?
I think
something?
Tavares being out, and I think Danault shutting
Tavares
Matthews
was out
down.
for the 3 wins?
Yeah, but Danault figured Matthews out. Shut that line
Oh,
down.
he sure did. But, like, Danault didn't re-enter the lineup is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like, I kind of like not going down with the ship. What is it? Riding on the horse that brought you there? Mm-hmm. Or riding with the horses that brought you there? Whatever the old friggin'... You're better at old man sayings than I am. So, like, I don't think the Sens necessarily have to do anything wildly differently. Like, what, does Hamonic get into Game 4? Does Highmore get into Game 4? And, like, what are we talking about here? Like, is that going to make all the difference in the world? If I'm the Sens, I think the most frustrating thing about this series is I think a lot of the narrative around Game 1 was cope. Game 2, we could have won that. Game 3, we should have won that. Dude, you're on home ice. You've been complaining about the calls in Games 1 and 2. That game was
you got all the calls.
gift-wrapped for you.
Yeah.
Gift-wrapped. The Stützle call that sent Lorentz to the box was a joke. The Sanderson non-call on Marner, knowing that was called, was a joke. Nye's going to the box without Shabbat going with him is a joke. You got a 5-on-3 out of that. The Tavares hook on Kachuk, where he went down like a friggin' cardboard cutout in a rainstorm.
I can see in real time how you make that call, but on slow-mo, it's bad.
It looks horrible.
Yeah.
But, like...
It worked.
In a lot of games, you're not getting that call.
Right.
And that's a game where you got that call. Home ice, you got all the calls, and you don't come up with that game. That's a missed opportunity. Huge missed opportunity. So that's the thing I'm most frustrated about.
I think it's
if
fair.
I'm a Sens fan.
I think it's fair to admit, though, that when you're the Sens looking at this series, you're a young team, and there is a talent discrepancy here amongst these two teams that are going at it. Like, not all these teams in the playoffs are equal. Like, I know the Sens are in there and they're fighting, but the Leafs came in as the better team, and they are playing like that. Like, they have executed what they have intended to do. And it's going to work out if the Leafs are playing their best hockey.
I think people are really struggling with the Leafs, as am I.
I can hear you.
Yeah. This is, like, forget them looking good. This is the most normal they've been in. The Leafs had a downright uneventful season. Like, okay, they had a couple goalie injuries. Matthews going to Europe was obviously that was highly unusual. It was they played lots of tight 1-goal games. I don't remember them ever having a line clearing brawl. Did anyone get suspended? Like, were there, there was the Nyes thing. Oh, Reeves got suspended. That was quite bad. But they had a downright run-of-the-mill season. Mm-hmm. Any fiery Craig Berube quotes? Like any obvious tension there.
The worst quote I can remember, and that turned into the best one, was William Nylander. It's like, big deal, it's 3 games, when they lost 3, and then they won 3 in a row, and he's like, big deal, it's 3 games.
That was the one situation where the season could have got really out of hand, or at least in terms of the and it didn't. And now we've come into the playoffs, and Sens fans they're chirping, and they have every right to chirp, and they're talking about the free bye to the second round. And I mean, most teams in recent memory, as in last year, would be like, hell yeah, we get to play the Leafs in round 1.
Mm-hmm. It's not last year.
It's not last year. And I think we're all Leafs fans, Sens fans, neutral observers. We're all struggling with the Leafs being downright ordinary.
You are.
I am. Of course I am. Of course I am. I've watched them too closely.
I've been trying to tell you all series, they're just a good team.
Now, he can accept that
You've been
rationally,
trying to
but
tell
emotionally.
me every year. You've been trying to tell me every year, and I didn't believe you. That's
But
why.
you look at how this has played out, where they're up 3-0 and they've beating up on a lesser opponent, I would say, in terms of the talent on paper. And the Leafs are being rewarded for the season they had. Because this is what you've been asking of them for the years past, where you want them to go out and win the division and get the matchup that's ideal and have home ice and not have to face the Panthers or Bruins or Lightning in the first round.
Winning the division
We see
was
now,
rather important.
We see now how crucial it was that they did play great regular season games. And thankfully for them, this season, there wasn't the Bruins who set an all-time wins record. There wasn't the Panthers who win the President's Trophy or anything like that.
And the Lightning aren't on their cup run.
Yeah, and the Leafs took advantage of those opportunities. They put up the points that they did, and it led to a division victory, and it led to this first-round matchup. If the Leafs are up against the Panthers right now, say they're in that 2 seed where the Lightning were, this thing is, I don't know if they're beating the Panthers. I don't know if
it ain't 3-0 Leafs.
It's 100% not 3-0, but they played great all regular season long, got rewarded with this opponent, and they executed here in these 3 games, and now are up 3-0.
And Ottawa will be, I mean, okay, again, the series isn't over, but no matter how this series shakes out, the Senators will be better for it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what's a shame about the Battle of Ontario is 2017, when the Sens went on that run to the Eastern Conference Final, almost made the Cup Final. We were gearing up for the Leafs and Sens to be going to war every year because they were great already. Like, I don't remember.
And there was no reason why they shouldn't have been the next year.
Oh, it was that Carlson stuff and ownership stuff.
It was ownership.
Is a tough go. But you're a goal away from the Stanley Cup Final. That's all we talked about heading into the 17-18 season. Also heading into the 17-18 season, holy shit, the Leafs, who just finished last place, actually went for the playoffs. And they're young, and they're going to be a contender in a few years. That's what people were saying. So the Battle of Ontario was getting ready to pop off. And then the Sens never made the playoffs again until now. And it's like the roles are reversed. Like the Leafs are kind of coming to this weird fork in the road that everyone's kind of ignoring because eyes on the prize. It's the playoffs right now. Just like the Sens were with Carlson. And the Sens are this young up-and-coming team. This series has been real exciting and as advertised, but not quite as tight.
I don't think the games are even as close as they appear on the scoreboard.
Tell me about that.
Because we've seen the Leafs play these games all season long. And if you look at how the beats of the periods and the scoring has gone each game, in game 1, took care of business. Not even close. Game 2, everything is shut down for 2 periods.
Yes.
Second period's shaky, but they get through it in the end. It's 1 goal that they allow, which is a bad play. You don't want to allow that goal. And then they turn up the offense. They get a quick OT goal. Game over. Game 3, very similar situation where they execute
up 2-1.
They execute early in that 3rd period, get the goal, shut things down. We get a Kachuk goal. All right, not great, but we turn back on the offense. We get our quick goal in OT. They've been doing everything they want to do in each game. They're not trying to run up the score each time because they can't, because the Sens are a good team.
Well, and that's just...
It's not how hockey...
They've done that so few times this year.
Right. That's not how they've ever played. It's not how playoff hockey is played. You're not going to get 1 million goals every single time out. So they haven't tried to play like that. They've tried to just get that 1 extra goal when they turn back on their offense. And they've done it to perfection in games 2 and games 3. So I don't have complaints about the Leafs and how they've been playing. I think they've executed and outperformed their opponent.
Something changed this year, I think, with the message. Like, because I think Sheldon Keefe, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Sheldon Keefe wanted the Leafs to win games.
More than anybody, maybe.
Yeah.
And Base would go beat red.
He begged this team to score playoff-style goals for years. Literally years. We know this. It's documented. And they just wouldn't do it. And Berube's got these guys on message, on point. Go to the net, grind these guys, take care of your shit defensively, win games.
Yeah, and it's like not about getting Matthews his cookies or anything like that. Like Matthews not putting up 69 goals during the regular season, I think was actually really beneficial to the Leafs.
Why do you say that?
Because they didn't have to rely on that level of goal scoring. They're getting spread out offense now that we've seen how these 3 games have played, where the core four is delivering in different ways, and Matthews has a commitment to defense this season. I think like in like no other season he's ever had, and you're not relying on this otherworldly talent to get these goals for you.
You're not waiting for dad.
Exactly.
You know, like the guy who does everything. Like,
How do you think the Pinto line? Because that was a big conversation. But going into the game is, now the Sens are finally going to get to line match Pinto to Matthews. How do you think that went?
So I know he didn't do so hot in the faceoff dot. I've been so impressed with that player.
Pinto?
He's way better than I knew.
Fast.
Very fast,
Yeah.
tenacious. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league. He's still somewhat young, but he's about to enter his prime. Really good player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good player. Super impressed.
So, okay, I guess wrapping up sort of that game story, because, tomorrow night, it's the first chance the Leafs have had to sweep since we said 2001. What are your expectations for tomorrow? Do you just expect sort of more of the same, and what do the Sens do to counter that?
Yeah, I do expect more of the same because the Leafs try to play the same every damn game.
Jesse,
It's so hard to win 4 games in a row in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I expect the Sens to come out and maybe steal one. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we're back here in Toronto on Monday and there's a game. Is it Monday or Tuesday? I forget.
Sweeps are hard, man.
So the 29th. So, yeah, I
I
don't.
think it's Tuesday.
I don't. The 29th. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't expect a sweep.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Leafs would be really lucky to get a sweep because of the time off you get then waiting for your opponent. Because I think if Tampa can get a couple of games back in Florida, like that could be a longer series, and you're at home resting, and they're playing war level hockey. Like that could be awesome for the Leafs. So they should go at this like this is a must-win game to just finish it off and not have the...
Don't even leave the door open.
Exactly.
No.
Don't have the jitterbugs coming back home on Tuesday, and we get the chirps from the Sens fans. We get the chirps from your own fans.
Yeah, here we go
like
again.
Steve, who are nervous. And you don't want any of that. I hope they take care of business and finish it in 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Sens get one because like everything's always tight in the playoffs.
Yep.
I want. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, Panthers had a chance to sweep the Leafs a couple years ago, didn't do it. Mm-hmm. They had a chance to sweep the Lightning last year, didn't do it. They won both series.
Yep.
So
just a reminder that we'll be doing our little pre-show here, just like we did yesterday, in advance of Steve's watch along.
Who?
So Jesse and I do a little pre-show for half an hour beforehand, and a lot of people tune in and go, "Where's Steve?" And we're like, "He's coming, man. He's coming. Don't worry. He'll be there." So that's what I got. I got a lot of that and a lot of requests for feet during the live stream here at Maple Leaf Square.
Okay, I'm not going to request feet, but like, I don't know, there's a lot of like socks and stuff in the story. You ever thought about trying them?
I don't think we should do that here. Your clutch moment of the game is sponsored by Clutch.ca, the easiest way to sell your car. Could I have sold you on Simon Benoit scoring a goal in overtime?
I wouldn't have bought it.
It's kind of...
What if that Simon Benoit was a Mazda 3?
Yeah, and it came to your
then
house.
I would have bought it for sure.
And it came to your house after they made a very fair offer on your other Mazda 3.
I'd be like, what value? Unbelievable. What a clutch performance.
Just to say it one more time, why does this go in? Why does this happen? Why does he even take the shot?
Well, it's a great read to take the slapper right off the face-off win. I thought, okay, Matthews wins this clean. It goes over to the left-handed Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He takes a one-timer. But Benoit reads this correctly. Like, he takes the selfish, quote-unquote, selfish shot because it's a good one. Because Nyes and Matthews are creating havoc in front. They're creating a screen. It might go directly in. It might hit someone. There might be a rebound. It's just straight up a good idea. And it is the second straight game where, forget the result, it's a good read and a good decision from Benoit that led to a Leafs OT winner.
Jesse.
Yeah, and like we got to thank the hockey gods too, because I don't know if Matthews intended to do it, but he won the face-off of the boards. The puck was won back, but it didn't go to Benoit. He won it off the side of the boards, and it bounced directly to Benoit, who then took a one-timer with it. It's a fantastic bounce. I don't know if Matthews intended to do it, but it happened, and it was pretty cool.
The puck is and always has been made of rubber.
This Clutch playoff moment is brought to you by Clutch. Whether you are just curious to know what your car is worth or you're ready to sell right now, go to clutch.ca or use the QR code right now to get a real offer on your car in a minute. 1 minute.
Oh, no.
What could your Mazda be worth, Steve? You could find out.
Well, add another 19 seconds onto that. I could win game 3.
Do you guys remember the good old days? Your favorite hockey players? When they were kids? When Sid the Kid was a real kid? Now he's just Sid the Man. By the way, Tim Hortons retrospective rookie hockey cards are back, and Steve is opening the package as slowly as usual.
Yes.
He's handing out his cards.
Boom.
There you go.
We all get to share. Oh, I got a good one. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
I got the best one, Travis Konechny.
Oh,
He was a rookie in 2016, and he looks like such a young man. And there he is with a little beard now in 2014.
Jesse, I assure you didn't get the best one. Adam, you go second.
I got celebrated prodigies, Luke Shen.
Oh, okay. Adam might have won.
Shen collected 3 points, a goal and 2 assists at the 2009 Young Stars game during the NHL All-Star Weekend. I don't know if they do that anymore.
They don't, and they should.
They should do that.
Yeah, I think Adam wins.
Jesse, I would like your Travis connecting card.
Here you go.
And I will trade you this.
The card of a fraud, Connor Hellebuck. He was a rookie in 2015, and now we got the rookie card there, the NHL rookies card. It looks pretty good. It screams fraud to me.
Nothing, strangely enough, nothing about it says anything about that game last night where he let in 5 or 6 goals, right?
No.
And got pulled.
Thank
That's
goodness
funny
the 2025 save percentage isn't on this.
Good point. Now, visit your local Tim Hortons or download the Tim's app to start collecting your new retrospective rookies hockey cards. Every pack features current and retired NHL and PWHL players from their rookie year, plus a chance to win prizes like autographed jerseys. Okay, now, what everybody should be paying attention to, whether you're a Sens fan, you're a Leafs fan, or whatever, is the shocking Florida Panthers going in and taking 2 games on Tampa's home ice. It's not that it's shocking that the Panthers are winning. They went into Tampa and won 2 straight games and did not allow a goal yesterday. We'll talk about the Hagel hit in a second, but let's just talk about the winning part, which is Florida might have a better team this year than they did last.
So my bracket is fighting for its life.
Sure.
And that's because of
the Wild.
it is fighting for its life because of 2 teams who are very good. Very good. We know they're very good. What we didn't know is how healthy they are. I have a hard time looking at a team on paper and blindly going, Kirill Kaprizov's in the lineup and we're getting 100% of him. I had a harder time believing Matthew Tkachuk is in the lineup and you're getting 100% of him. They like stuffed that guy in a bunker or something for, since the 4 Nation face-off. We haven't seen him. I had no idea how he was going to do. And he looks great. Kaprizov looks great. And Panthers look friggin' unreal as a result. If I knew that, do you think I would have picked the Lightning still?
Yeah, maybe.
I think you would.
I got news for you.
You got a bit of a Yanni Gord crush, I think. So.
I do love Yanni Gord. I still would. I think I would have said Cats in 7, but
That's not how it works.
If I only seen the games beforehand.
We all picked this with the same knowledge.
well, no. But you got to do it. There's a little bit of guesswork there with the injuries, and my guess was, you know what? This guy's hurt. He's a significant part of their team, and he's hurt. And holy hot damn. I will say the Lightning also just look like shit. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know
Last
what's happening
game was a
there.
1-goal game.
No. Sorry. First game.
Yeah, no.
Game 1, they look
first
like
game
shit.
disaster.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody's willing to admit that the first game, throw it out the window. Second period, everything was lost.
I think it was during game 2 of the Leaf series, and Drew kept giving me out of town scoreboard update. I'm like, oh, the Panthers are up 1-0. They're 2.
Game 2, it's 1-0 game until they scored the empty net with 5 seconds left. So the score says 2-0, but the game was 1-0.
Right.
Shut out on home ice.
Yeah, I don't know where the offense has gone because like this team was a really good power play team during the regular season, and you have Nikita Kucherov, who is the king of I will get my points on the power play.
Yep.
So for them to go dry like this in the playoffs, it's very odd to me.
Can I point something out that I think a lot of people are forgetting? So game 3, let's assume Hagel's out. I think that's a very safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
Barkov is out. I think that's a relatively safe bet. You know who's back? Ekblad.
Yeah.
A lot of people are forgetting that Ekblad's
Steroid
back.
McGee.
Hey.
I didn't take him.
What a nickname. I don't think it's going to stick.
I don't think
it
doesn't roll
try
off
it
the
out,
tongue.
but I don't know. It might work.
And the Panthers are going to be at home.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I mean, the Lightning are the Lightning. Championship DNA. You never count them out. I've gone from thinking they're going to win this series to I don't know how on earth they do that.
Mm-hmm. I hammer away at special teams all the time because I feel like that's the only kind of advantage you really truly get in the playoffs because things are so tight at 5-on-5. Sometimes, like in the regular season, at 5-on-5, some teams just dominate.
Team can be hungover. It could be anything.
Well, sometimes that does happen.
Yes.
We've heard a couple stories from this past season.
we have.
Of guys going out and coming back and playing the next game. That's funny. But like power play in the postseason is so important. And what was their game? 2 nights ago? Last night?
Which one?
The Panthers.
Last night.
The shutout was
last night. Last night. So that game, the Lightning had 5 power play opportunities. They spent 9 minutes and 13 seconds at 5-on-4 against the Florida Panthers, and they weren't able to execute any of those moments.
Do you know how many shots they got?
On the power play?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, how many shots did they get in the game overall?
In the game overall, bring up the
Wasn't it like
game summary.
24 or something?
They had in the game, they had 19 shots on goal.
Oh my God. That's just downright unacceptable.
And I'm shocked because a John
Yes.
Cooper team, a Tampa Bay Lightning team that's always been good at this, isn't executing. But I guess it's because the other team on the other side is the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Now, I would also throw out there that the Florida Panthers did block 20 shots too.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good.
Yeah. That is
And that's what you
very
sort
good.
of have to do, right? Like
Yep.
that is part of it compared to 6 blocked by the Tampa Bay.
20 is not insane. It's
Sure,
really
but
not that much.
Even if
Like,
you cut
it's-
that in
it's
half,
good.
the Lightning would then have 29 shots, right?
Oh, man. In a game with that many, how many power play opportunities did they
There
have?
was
0 for 5 the Lightning went, and the Panthers went 0 for 3.
I would 5 power play opportunities would have been pretty chill last night.
It was 9 minutes and 13 seconds at 5-on-4 the Lightning had.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
0 goals.
Which
Wow.
means they also took a penalty in the middle of all that.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly. It wasn't like 10 minutes,
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this reminds me a little bit of 2019. I think it was 2 or 3. Nikita Kucherov gets suspended, and the Lightning, who are already reeling in that series against the Blue Jackets, lose one of their best players. It's going to be really hard to get back into that series under those circumstances. And Brandon Hagel had over 90 points this year. Like, if Barkov is out, I guess that's the equalizer, and also that's why Hagel has to be suspended.
you guys think? Yeah.
Yeah, so let's
That's
Are you guys
a
both on
bad
the
hit.
suspension
I
train?
don't know if it's a suspendable hit.
Yeah.
The puck's nowhere near Barkov.
I get that, but I guess I've just seen so much worse in the playoffs that went unsuspended. Like you think about, but think about Pietrangelo breaking. Wasn't it Nurse's hand or something like that? And he slashed him, or there was some sort of Pietrangelo slash that was insane, and he got a game. And
That was a couple years ago,
wasn't it? Am I crazy?
Yeah, no. I do remember that vaguely.
Vaguely.
But hey, no, like to me, it doesn't matter.
It was
if
Draisaitl. It was Draisaitl.
Oh, okay.
And he slashed the hell out of him.
It doesn't matter to me if it's shoulder to shoulder or if he hit the head or any of that or boarding or dude, the puck's not there.
Yeah. So if you want to bring it up here, the Barkov has the puck, and then he gets rid of it. And Hagel's going for the check. So, like, that's right where he sends it off, like the puck.
Yeah.
And Hagel's going for this check, and he just keeps going. So, Barkov has the puck there. You can see it through the blurry screen.
It's significantly late.
There, he's sending it around the boards, and Hagel's already getting ready for this hit. He knows in his head, no matter what happens here, I'm going to lay this hit. And that's on him to back off, you know?
Yep.
Like, that's inexcusable. But...
Wow. And by the way,
massive.
he doesn't take Hagel doesn't take any strides there, right? Like that's people go, well,
No.
charging, it's not charging.
He glides into it. No head contact.
Nope.
It's shoulder to shoulder. It's dangerous because of where it is on the boards, that little area of where you are a foot from the boards.
boarding.
Like that's where it's really dangerous. It's interference for sure.
It's interference 100%.
But a game suspension. When he got 5 and the rest of the game in this game.
So when was the penalty?
I can tell you in a moment.
Because who you are matters. So remember Kyle Clifford hit, I think it was Ross Colton of the Lightning.
9:51 into the third period.
So that's not a ton of the game. It was a 1-goal game.
Yeah, it's not like he's out there just trying to get a piece of somebody because the game's over. This is a game they are trying to actively win.
Okay, so that is relevant. So if I'm the Lightning and the NHL's coming at me with, we're thinking of 2 games.
Oh man, that would be a lot.
No, wait. It's if I'm the Panthers, I'm advocating for at least that. Dude, that's our captain. That's the top 2-way center in the National Hockey League that you took out in a playoff series. You wanted a pound of flesh, and you got a ton. Like that. Losing Barkov significantly changes the series, and the reason he's out of this series is because of an illegal hit. So if I'm the Panthers, I want at least 2. And if I'm the Lightning, I'm going, well, that was a very winnable game. And that hit in that 5-minute major made it exponentially harder to do. So we were punished in that regard. If you give them 1 game on top of that, is that adequate? If I'm the Lightning, I'm advocating for nothing. I'm saying this is a 1-game suspension and he's already served it.
Right, because that's how they look at it.
But if I'm the Panthers and Barkov cannot play game 3 and potentially game 4, and who knows when we see him again, that's unacceptable.
And sorry, I misspoke when I said he got thrown out. He just got the 5.
Yeah.
He got a 5.
He didn't even get thrown out?
And then he came back, after the 5.
So
yeah, he wasn't ejected from the game for the hit.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's... Who the player is matters to the NHL. And I'm going to say that until they prove me wrong.
If this is a Vander Kane.
If Jamie Benn gets... it does that weird guillotine move that he did to Mark Stone against, Keegan Colasar. It probably doesn't get the, 2 or 3 games? Two games, I think. If Kyle Clifford is not Kyle Clifford, you probably go, well, that hit on Ross Colton was 5 in a game in the first period plus an additional 2 games. Holy shit, that's pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But it's Kyle Clifford. Get him out of here.
If this is Ryan Hartman who's delivering this hit, I'm advocating for you kick him out for forever.
Yeah, if you're kicking
20 game
Kadri out for a thing for the whole playoffs.
You advocate for Alcatraz.
Put him on that little island in San Francisco.
Yeah, because he's... How many times has he been suspended? 36?
Ryan Hartman.
Who's been unreal on account of he's been playing games and not serving suspensions.
Yeah, when we get to that series, he's been weirdly the best player.
He's great.
Outside of Kaprizov, I guess, and Boldy, but he's been unreal.
He's a great player.
But yeah, if this is him, the league looks at it differently.
Yeah.
But because it's Hagel, I guess 1 game.
It's Hagel on Barkov.
Yeah.
The last tweet before this morning that NHL Player Safety sent out was Florida's Jesse Puljujarvi being suspended for 2 games for an illegal check to the head against Tampa Bay's Mitchell Chaffee. And today, Tampa Bay's Brandon Hagel will have a hearing for interference against Florida's Alexander Barkov. We don't know. Hearing can be they didn't say in person, so I'm assuming that's a good sign.
No,
right?
in person's 5 or more games.
Yeah,
and
so
I don't know what you would have to do. Aaron Rome got 4. Like, I don't know what you would have to do to get more
A lot of
than
people
that
don't
in
remember
the playoffs.
Aaron Rome. That's how long ago that
Aaron
was.
Rome, 2011 Stanley Cup Final. I believe it's the longest suspension in Stanley Cup Final history.
Wow. For what?
Completely cold cocking Nathan Horton.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad. Now,
And it's just some credit to the Panthers too. Like they're putting on a defensive masterclass. Like
Oh my
the
God.
thing that we're hyping the Leafs for, like they are the best at it. Where the Lightning got a crazy amount of shot attempts. I think it was over 60 shot attempts. And what was the 20 shots on goal or 19 shots on actual goal?
Yes.
It's because the Panthers clog up that area in the slot. Nothing gets through. Any shot that the Lightning get is low danger. And this is the hockey that the Lightning have mastered, and they're doing it to perfection.
and
here.
and you know what's
boy.
great about the Panthers? They also have Bobrovsky if the puck does get through.
Yeah.
Like it's just pain.
Like they're such a good hockey team, and I don't know. I didn't see it coming. I
No.
didn't think they'd be this healthy
Well,
and this
again,
good.
it does come down to Steve was right. Like it does come down to health, right? Like if you know Matthew Tkachuk played 11 minutes in game one, and he played 13 minutes last night. And
He's not healthy.
Well, like 100%. But they're using him in situations where he's going to take advantage, right? And he's going to be most effective. But I just have found that deployment interesting too. He's objectively not healthy.
Dude, Marchand's coming off an injury. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
somehow, like, through the will of Paul Maurice's coaching ability, they're just playing this tight hockey, and everybody's able to execute no matter if they have banged up knees or not.
I think we should mention the "who the hell is that guy" performance that all good teams seem to get. Nate Schmidt has 3 goals.
Yeah.
Like, and it is not 17,
No.
18 anymore. There was a time where you'd be like, oh, okay, oh, yeah. Like, you wouldn't be
started in
shocked
the-
to see that out of Nate Schmidt.
That started in the Leafs Cap series.
Yes.
He was a rookie coming in.
He was great.
And he was great.
He was really good.
It's Steve, if you're giving the East Conn Smythe, because I think the West Conn Smythe goes to Kaprizov, East Conn Smythe, Schmidt or Benoit?
Oh, man. Can they split it? No, Wes Conn Smythe might go to Cam Fowler. Outright, or he's either tied for or outright leads the Stanley Cup playoffs in
You got
scoring.
to be leading your series, I think, to
Yeah.
give
All right.
consideration for that.
Well, in that case,
he had a goal and 2 assists last night, but like,
Give me-
not Cam Fowler.
Give me Benny.
Yeah.
Benny over Schmidt.
Yeah, but
Stop.
tiebreaker for the overtime work.
Stop.
Give me Benny.
Stop.
I know. Yeah, Marner's got
3
6
goals.
points. Marner's got 6 points. Ho hum.
All right.
Ho hum.
It is cleaning your car season. And with the right tools, it really shouldn't take that long. And that's why we recommend Silver Wax. Proudly made right here in Canada, proudly Canadian since 1999. And that's not about to change. Silver Wax has been loved by car cleaners with just no time to clean since 1999. That's what it's made for.
It's also not just for your car. It's also for boats and RVs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Also car adjacent things.
Yes. This interior protector that I have, there's a little picture of a little boat. I assume it's Steve's yacht. And then there's a little picture of an RV, which I assume is Adam's big honkin' RV.
Absolutely.
Adam has a yacht. I have a helicopter. This is well documented.
yeah,
Right.
true.
I assume this silver wax will also be good for helicopters. They have not stated that, but I assume it would be good.
This is called Ceramic Lotus Effect, which is just a really good name.
Nano Diamond Ceramic Quick Wax and Insect Remover are 2 products you should definitely check out. 'Cause, yeah, Insect Remover, especially on like boats and RVs that have been stored away all winter. They've spent years fine-tuning products, making them as powerful and foolproof as they can. Because Steve, listen, on your skill level, what would you rate your cleaning the car out of 10?
Oh, don't worry. I'm the fool they're trying to prove. I know.
So
I know.
check it out. Silver Wax takes care of your car. Find Silver Wax products at your local Canadian Tire or at silverwax.ca. And the promo code you should use is SDPN10 at checkout to save 10% on your next order. Again, it's SDPN10 at silverwax.ca to save at checkout 10%. So I think every year you can define certain teams by a quote.
What do we got?
And I think the Edmonton Oilers, if things continue, will be defined by one quote, and it's one word. And the answer is no. And it's in response to the question, do you guys think you need a goalie? And the person who said it is Stan Bowman. The LA Kings, the last few years, very clearly had a weakness in goal against the Edmonton Oilers.
Big time.
Now, it's a little unfair because Edmonton's offense is all world, and they're going to make most goalies look bad. But the Kings went out They took a risk, traded Dubois, got Darcy Kemper, weren't sure how it was going to go, and he's been great. And that was a risk worth taking. The Edmonton Oilers, as they did in the deadline leading into COVID, and everybody forgets it, said, well, you can't go all in every year. And
another bad one. That was a terrible quote.
And
Yep.
what's crazy about that is here we are with a year left on McDavid's contract. And the guys that you did get, and I have to be honest with you on Stan Bowman, if you get a healthy Trent Frederic, see, I liked that trade. If Trent Frederic's healthy, that's a good get.
You didn't acquire a healthy Trent Frederic.
And when you saw him play, did you see him play?
No.
He can't skate. He can't pivot.
I
And they have a problem in net.
There's a larger conversation to be had. I have a hard time believing the Charlie McAvoy stuff is over. Like
You mean with the infection and all the stuff that he had? And all the shoulder stuff from...
he was completely mistreated by the American medical staff, which is
The Minnesota Wild.
the
medical
Minnesota
staff.
Wild medical staff. So I don't think that's over at all. The Wild sent Patrick Maroon to the Bruins the year before, and he wasn't good to go. Now it's the Bruins sending Frederic to the Oilers, and I gotta know what they knew. The Oilers, like leading into the last week, like we were all hammering the Dallas Stars, who were up 2-1, by the way, for playing Jason Robertson in that final game. Why are you playing that player? Why are you playing Trent Frederic, who clearly wasn't ready to go, unless it's a new injury? Why were you playing Mattias Ekholm, who clearly wasn't ready to go, unless it's a new injury? I know Stuart Skinner was injured in the middle of all that. Does he look 100%?
No.
Like, or is he just, I have a hard time believing he simply stinks. I know he didn't have a very good year, but we've seen him play so much better than this.
But he was scrapped last year in the playoffs.
Yeah. And that has happened. Braden Holtby did not begin the 2018 playoffs for the Caps.
Yeah.
It was
Neither did Matt
Philip
Murray.
Grubauer.
Yeah, neither did Matt Murray in Pittsburgh, right?
Exactly. It was Philip Grubauer, who at one point was quite good. Braden Holtby ended up, I don't remember who won the Conn Smythe, if it was Ovi or whoever. Holtby they shouldn't have even beat the Lightning. Forget the Cup final. They shouldn't have beat the Lightning in the conference final. Holtby gets a shutout in games 6 and 7. Like, people change. Performances change. I have a hard time believing any of the guys who were injured down the stretch are close to 100%. If one of them can't go, like one of them is a mystery, two is a theme. And for Ekholm to not be in and for Frederic to be a shell of himself is a blight on the Oilers' preparation.
Yes.
How do you look at it as anything else?
Well, exactly.
And they still almost tied it.
Yes. And I think that's the thing. I mean,
They what? It was 3-0. They made it 3-2.
Yeah, and then the Kings kind of opened it up. I was looking back on it. I was like, oh, the Kings kind of ran away with it mid-third.
Well, Arvidsson with just terrible misplay.
Yeah.
They're just playing miserable hockey, the Oilers. But when they cheat for offense, like when they just go, all right, we need a goal or we're dead, they're the best team in the NHL. Like, I don't know what you do to stop them.
I want to say this.
I don't know. The Kings kind of proved they could.
Well, you can do it. I mean, the Kings have won twice, but when the Oilers are pure offense, their problem is everything else.
Yeah.
When they just cheat for pure offense, I don't know. They're really difficult to stop.
In the last 4 meetings actually, dating back to the last 2 games of the regular season, 2 of which happened in April, the Kings have every game scored 3 goals or more.
Wow.
In 3 of the 4 games, they've scored 5 or more. And in the 2 playoff games in this series, they have scored a total of 12 goals, 6 goals each game. How many games are you going to win? And frankly, listen, I understand the Mattias Ekholm injury is tough. 100%. It's so hard to replace a guy like that. I understand there are Oilers fans who are upset with us about the about Evan Bouchard corner, as though that he's
he's great.
He is great.
I don't know. Like,
one side of the ice.
You want us to do a Byfield goal? Like,
Which one?
like the one from the most recent game.
Yeah.
Like that.
Sure. Do you want to?
I would love to. I haven't even seen this one.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I have. I can't
think
remember.
you have.
I can't remember.
Oh,
It's the first round of the playoffs is a hurricane.
Yeah, of course it is.
It is, man. All right, let me see this. Obviously, we can't show it in real time.
Okay.
Oh,
It's Evan Bouchard sitting in the front of the net. Byfield is going up one-on-one with the goalie.
Oh, this is
now.
And go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, Bouchard is alone because of Nurse, which I think was the problem people had. So, yeah, Bouchard looks ridiculous on this play, but it's Nurse's fault.
Yeah, it's everybody's fault. Like
Yes.
the Oilers haven't been able to play good defense all series long, and
Being garbage is a team effort.
they make so many big mistakes, I should say, that leads directly to goals. And like this is just another instance of that. Bouchard looks terrible on this play. There's a lot that goes into it, but he does look awful on this play.
He's
I know he's
playing the pass.
He's playing the pass, but do you not take a stride towards Quentin Byfield?
It cut off the angle to the pass.
Well, you can do both.
He kind of did nothing here.
He stands
because
there.
I would argue like he's not even blocking the pass that well.
No, he's not.
No.
Like that, if Byfield wanted to pass this puck, he probably could.
Because he's a legitimately shocking defenseman.
And Byfield decides to take the puck directly to the goal, and he roofs
Look
it on center.
at him.
Like he doesn't move.
Listen.
Look, he doesn't move. The stick moves.
He doesn't move his. He doesn't move
He
his.
can't
feet.
bend. He cannot bend.
So do you think he's got a back injury or something?
I don't know. But as a guy with chronic back problems, he looks like me. Oh, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. Move your literal body, Evan. No, it's so bad, dude.
It's a beautiful goal by Byfield. No reason he should be that wide open.
While instead of tearing the Oilers down, can we talk about what might have been the most cost-effective trade deadline move anyone made?
Is that Jake Wallman?
No, that was a good move, though. That was a good move. Oh, my God. Can you imagine the Oilers without him? In this
I know.
current situation? Andrei Kuzmenko.
Oh, yeah. No kidding, right?
Dude.
What was he traded for?
So get this. 17 points in 22 regular season games. He has 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists through 2 games in this series. The trade, he was traded, this is from HockeyDB, traded from Philadelphia Flyers with a 7th round pick in 2025 to LA for a 3rd round pick in 2027. So the Kings traded a 3rd round pick 3 drafts from now to get Kuzmenko and a 7th this year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That rules. You paid less than a 3rd round pick, technically,
Yeah.
3 drafts from now, for a man who is over 2 points per game so far and gave you hope that he could be hovering around a point per game for you. I mean, Kuzmenko, if you go and look through his career, good luck predicting which version of the guy is showing up.
If you get the good one, Canucks fans tell you he's pretty great.
Oh, he's going to score 40. Sorry, let me correct that. 8. He's scoring 8. Like, you have no idea what version of the guy is showing up. The Kings got the good one.
Yep.
And like he's I don't want to say he's this year's version of the Jeff Carter trade for them. Mm-hmm. But he's close. He's been unbelievable for them.
So we saw Pickard at the end of the game there when Stuart Skinner got pulled. Do you think he makes the next start?
He is. That's what I was just going to say.
Oh.
He is getting it.
Oh, it's confirmed?
Confirmed this morning. Zach Kavanaugh is confirming it. Bob Stauffer saying this is the lines at morning skate. And they did redo, they were splitting up Nurse and Bouchard.
That makes
Now,
sense.
here's who's who. Now, guys, look at me.
Okay.
Don't look at your computers.
I'm not.
Who do you think they're putting with Bouchard? Your options are, I'll give you your options.
No,
Okay.
that's-
I think I know my answer.
Klingberg, Eberson, Kulak, Wallman.
Kulak.
Jesse?
I'd say they're going to do Wallman.
Klingberg.
Klingberg. Oh, my God.
Whoa! Wait! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
I knew you'd never
whoa,
get that.
Whoa! Wow! 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 You're putting 2 right-handed defensemen together, first of all.
Yeah.
And you're putting the 2 most all-offense, completely useless in their own end defensemen in the universe.
I would
together.
assume it's because you're going to try to get them away from defensive zone starts and only throw them out there against offense.
Oh, okay. Okay. So here's how this could work. It's in Edmonton.
Yes, you got last change.
And you also don't have to play them together every shift. Mm-hmm. I could see it working. Exclusively offensive zone starts.
You don't want to get pinned.
Yes.
So then
that is... The Oilers are in deep shit that they're even thinking about this.
So Pickard with the start, Klingberg, Bouchard, Nurse, Eberson, Kulak, Wallman. What do you guys think of those pairings, given what Edmonton has?
Nurse Eberson's no fun. That's no fun for anyone. That to me makes so much more sense than Bouchard, Klingberg.
Kulak,
and then,
Wallman?
Kulak, Wallman, good pair.
Okay.
Good pair. Two good players.
Brown and Stetcher on the outside looking in. So
Yep.
you do have those guys to bring them in. Jesse, any thoughts on...
I watched Warren Fogle completely walk around Jake Wallman on the first goal of the game. And who did he set up? It was the Brant Clark goal on the power play. And I need to see so much more from the entire Oilers team. They play like offense, forward group, defense, like they've been mishandling the puck every single time they get it. The defense has been horrendous with the amount of holes they have. There needs to be so much more from this team.
Wallman is don't confuse hard-working defenseman with good defensive defenseman. Obviously he gets his points. He's good offensively. He hits, he blocks. That doesn't make him a great defenseman. Mm-hmm. So, like, to hear that he got walked, I'm not overly shocked by that. He's a good player to have in your team, for sure. It doesn't make him Larry Robinson.
You can watch it there if you wanted to see it. But, like, at the end of the game, when you were talking about, Steve, about how it was 3-2 at some point, or in the early third, because Arvidsson gets the goal and he makes it 3-2, and you're like, okay, Oilers are still in this, game's not over. And then 2 minutes later, Arvidsson loses. That's when he made the bad pass.
And
Wallman's
terrible on that goal.
Yeah, that was the Fogle walking Wallman that Steve just saw it, right? It's pretty egregious. Terrible. And then 2 minutes later, after Arvidsson gets the goal to get them back into the game, he flubs a pass. It's right into the back of the net for the Kings. And then there's a penalty by Henrique. And then there's a penalty by Podkolzin, and there's another penalty. I'm forgetting who took it, but 3 penalties in the third period when it's 4-2 at that point, and you're fighting to get back into this game. Like, the Oilers can't help themselves in any moment in this series so far. It's only been 2 games. You know, you're going back home, you can get those 2. Everything's good. But what we've seen so far has been a disaster.
They're so hard to write off. Like, just because of McDavid and Draisaitl, they're just so hard to write off. I could easily see I could see them being worse defensively in games 3 and 4 and winning the both of them.
You're gonna have to score 7 goals.
Well, maybe that's what they're switching to, right? Like, that's why you do Bouchard Klingberg.
I don't know if that's a great strategy.
You don't put that pairing together preparing for a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
Like,
the third period penalties were Henrique roughing, Janmark slashing, and Podkolzin misconduct. Like, when you're trying to get back into a game, taking 3 penalties like that, it's inexcusable. And I don't know, if you're trying to win a game 7-6 in Edmonton, that's a good strategy?
I don't think I think it's the only strategy available. That's what it sounds like, right? Like, what else? Okay, if you're Chris Knobloch, I almost called him Chuck. If you're Chris Knobloch, what do you do? What else? What's your other strategy?
Prepare for a 4-point night from Evan Bouchard, -2.
100%. But that has to be it, right? Like, there is no. They're probably like, well, we're kind of out of options here. we better just do the thing that we used to be good at, which was, I mean, they were always good at scoring goals, but like, we're going to go right back to like 2018 Oilers and just, with Cam Talbot and just score our way to the second round.
Someone said to me, they're like, well, like, Ekholm's out. This is like the Leafs losing McCabe. And I understand where they're going with that. Obviously, like, would the series be 3-0 if McCabe wasn't in the lineup? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with probably not, on account of game 2 and 3 were pretty tight. Who's your Chris Tanev? Like, the Leafs are not. Ekholm is charged with doing so much for the Oilers. This is why I tweeted, I'm like, he should be making $40 million. He is taxed with doing so much for that team. They lose him, the whole house of cards falls down.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough.
I think the conclusion we're kind of drawing to is that, like, the roster is not good enough.
Which brings me back to the Stan Bowman.
That's on the president and GM. Like, I don't think they built a good enough team here around McDavid and Draisaitl.
Who could have thunk, with all the great results Stan Bowman had in the later years in Chicago, that he wouldn't be good at building a team?
No, don't let Jeff Jackson off the hook.
Yeah, Jeff Jackson deserves a lot of criticism.
He blocked me, and now he can't see all my great suggestions.
The couple other games I want to bring up from last night. The Wild look phenomenal.
Man.
Yep.
They look phenomenal.
Please ignore every series preview.
Like, Kaprizov is next level.
An actual demon.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know what the great thing is? It isn't just him. Matt Boldy also looks unbelievable. Matt Boldy's unbelievable.
When they get that cap space.
Oh, man. This summer.
Oh, shit.
The problem is the free agents this summer, outside of like Marner Ekblad, there is a fall off. But like, I wonder.
Well, I got news for who they're going to target. Them two.
Well, yeah. What did Friedge say yesterday he said on the pen, he's like, man, Gavrikov becomes available. He's like, I'd throw a lot of money at that guy.
Why not?
Yeah. And like I said, Gavrikov played it perfectly, right? He knew the cap would go up this year, and he's like, nope, 2 years. That's good for me.
Sometimes
Thanks.
you nail it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you nail it. He nailed
seems
it.
to have. Golden Knights, specifically, Shea Theodore, who was supposed to be a huge member of Team Canada's defense until he was injured in Game 1 against Sweden. He is a defensively strong, but offensively strong defenseman. He's one of those guys that's a unicorn. He's great.
He's one of the better all-around defensemen in the league.
Has not had a good series.
No. And I was barking up the wrong tree. I don't know if Kaprizov's healthy. I don't know if Matthew Tkachuk is healthy. I was fooled by Shea Theodore. I got the wrong guy. And it significantly ruined my bracket very badly.
I think we were talking about it, or I brought it up on the Wednesday show, but game 1, or game 2, the other one that they lost, he was responsible for 4 of the 5 goals that the Wild scored. Like, I've never seen a defenseman have that bad of an individual performance on a Golden Knights team that is usually so good at playing a great defensive game and on home ice. And it's shocking to me that they've been so bad defensively. And credit to Kaprizov, obviously, because he's been otherworldly, but the Golden Knights just don't look like themselves.
No. And there's a team who, I mean, as content creators, we should almost be cheering for the Wild, because you imagine a second year in a row first round exit for the Golden Knights. Oh, they're going to blow the thing to smithereens.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I wonder, is Mark Stone the next guy, the next cast-off off Golden Knights Island?
That would be psychotic and something they would do. I'm here for it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You can drop Marchessault and Riley Smith in consecutive years with all they've brought to the team. I think you could do it with Mark Stone, too. I just wonder.
This might be the battle of, like, you know how Avalanche Stars is supposed to be the Western Conference Final? This is the battle of we're going to bid on every free agent this summer.
How many points do Jack Eichel and Mark Stone have combined this series?
2.
Adam?
Jack Eichel, Mark Stone. I'm going to say 4.
0.
What?
Wow.
Jack Eichel doesn't have a point?
Both of them combined do not have a single point in this series. The Wild are playing unbelievable hockey.
Wow.
I'd love to know who's being stapled to them. That's got to be Faber.
Spurgeon,
who my brain won't register as a person.
If we had
Right?
more time, we could look up just the defensive pairing matchups and everything, but I don't have that much time to Google.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting Jared Spurgeon.
By the way,
maybe he might actually be one of the more underrated players in the league on account of no one brings him up in that conversation.
Only one person on the SDPN staff took Minnesota in our bracket, and it's our producer Hayden Matheson, who does all my live streams. And he is a big Wild fan, and I've been texting him every time, every game. I'm like, dude, he's like, I told you guys, you did not listen to me.
Here's the difference. He texts me.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I was riding high off.
You were hard on them.
Oh, yeah, I was riding high off that Benoit goal, and he's just like, hey. Go ahead and check the score.
So I gave you the numbers on one side of the coin. You want the numbers on the other side?
Yes.
So Kaprizov and Boldy points in this series.
10.
Adam?
12?
13.
Wow!
Both of you underestimated. Yeah, it's if you compare
I gave them 5 points each.
Kaprizov and Boldy against Eichel and Stone is
Crazy.
13-0
Crazy, Jesse.
in terms of
Wow.
points in 3 games.
Wow.
I mean, when you put it that way, it's crazy the Wild aren't up 3-0. Like,
Yeah, how did the Golden Knights even win a game?
100%.
Wow.
And they won game 1, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Steve, when you used to do watch-alongs, they hooked up a heart rate monitor to you.
They did.
And people have been asking for it ever since.
Yes.
Now, one of the ways that you get your heart rate up in a good way
That's right.
is your Peloton.
My Peloton.
That's right.
Just going through the mountains of Scotland, going through the desert. I travel the world with Peloton.
You like it, huh?
I do.
Now, here's
I
the
really
deal.
do.
If you got a backyard or you got a park near you, you can take the Peloton app with you and do your workouts there. And that's what's great is you can put yourself on your own training course. You don't talk to people are like, yeah, I'm talking to my trainer. We're on like a 4-week conditioning thing, or we're going to do this. You can do all of that with Peloton on your own. And with Peloton's all-access membership, like I said, work out where you need to. Plus, with if you're at home and you have the Peloton tread, they've got classes for that too.
It's not just the bike.
Yeah. So listen, Peloton helps you get stronger with strength classes, workout generators, personalized programs with Peloton Tread and the Strength Plus app. Find your push, find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.ca. I want to move to the Blues and the Jets for a second because, obviously in the first couple of games we saw Winnipeg be Winnipeg. They were very, very good. Last night, though, 7 goals against, and I just have to ask Jesse Blake, are we back on Hellefraud watch?
No, never.
No, never.
He's gonna rebound. They're going to the Cup final, Ryan and Hellebuck. I truly believe that this is an anomaly. It's one game. Hellebuck's gonna bounce back.
I feel like
They're gonna
there's
get game
been
4.
A wind of change. Am I wrong on that? Am I hearing this wrong?
I cannot wait for Hellebuck to have a horrible playoff that drops his overall season save percentage below 920.
Oh no!
And Jesse's like,
you can't do that.
I won.
You can't.
I won.
It's not going to happen, though, because he's going to have a good game 4, and they're going to win a couple more, and they'll advance to the next round. They'll knock off Colorado or Dallas. We'll see him in the Western Final, and we'll see what happens there.
You're toxic.
Because I'm a Jets truther?
You manipulate both Adam and I. And
And
all our friends should be telling us to leave you
on
right now.
Sunday when we record our next show, because Leafs play Saturday, I got to come in all white. Just to show my support for Jets Nation.
I want to shout something that's hilarious. By the way,
Go away.
The whiteout. Oh my god. We'll get you a Jets jersey. Jets. Jets. I want to bring you back to December 14th, 2024. Okay. Steve was too busy to do a trade video, so I did it. And it was Cam Fowler traded to the St. Louis Blues from the Anaheim Ducks. Now, last night's game winner for the Leafs, Simon Benoit. How did he become a Leaf?
He was a Ducks cast-off, just like...
How was he a cast-off? What happened?
They didn't even qualify him.
So he was going to be a restricted free agent, and they said, I'm not even going to bother.
Nope. Goodbye.
And I remember when he came to Toronto, I believe it was Dom Lucian wrote an article. He said there's an argument to be made that Simon Benoit is actually the worst defenseman in the NHL.
What?
He what? No. Oh, yeah. That was the thing.
That's a real thing.
That was the thing.
Statistically,
no, his
he
metrics
had
were
terrible.
horrible.
His metrics,
No, Benoit.
yeah.
The worst out of everybody.
Because
From the Toronto Maple
he was
Leafs.
on the sad sack Ducks, right? Isn't that
Aurora Borealis in this kitchen, centralized right now.
so
Can I see it?
what we've learned from that scenario is that bad teams have bad defensive metrics, and it's difficult to judge defensemen on those teams.
Who was his main defense partner? Do you remember?
It was Cam Fowler.
No.
No, it wasn't Cam Fowler. No.
John Klingberg.
Oh, John Klingberg. Oh, well. There
So
you go.
Benoit was taxed with doing a new player in the league, undrafted, on the Ducks, with doing all the defense for John Klingberg.
That's rough. Whose hip was falling apart.
And weirdly, he didn't do so great, but he hit, he blocked, he killed a lot of penalties, and then the Leafs went, that's too much.
Now,
How about you play on the third pair?
the Blues got Cam Fowler, and I'm just going to give you the statistical difference between his first 17 games in Anaheim and then his final 51 in St. Louis, and then I'm going to tell you what they traded to get him,
Okay. Because I don't remember at all.
which is great. This is my favorite game, okay? So, guys, first 17 games with the Ducks, 4 assists.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
51 games with the St. Louis Blues. 9 goals, 27 assists, 36 points.
That is downright
Cam Fowler, like of old.
great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's third. No.
That's like a 50-point
He was
pace.
supposed to go third overall. He went 12th overall. Cam Fowler. Yes.
Yes. So you're kind of okay. Yeah. Now, I should let you know that Cam Fowler was last night's first star.
You think?
He had a goal and 4 assists.
Yeah, 5 points.
Game-winning goal, by the way.
5-point night.
And the St. Louis Blues, December 14th, 2024, St. Louis Blues president of hockey operations and general manager Doug Armstrong announced today.
Oh. Agent Provocateur guest.
That's right.
Ah.
And friend of the show,
Yes.
Doug Armstrong, today announced the team has acquired defenseman Cam Fowler and a 4th-round pick in 2027 from the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for defenseman Jeremy Biakabatuka and a 2nd-round pick in 2027. So
Noted
That
Alan
seems
Walsh
fair.
client.
noted Alan Walsh client.
Yes.
And-
not Cam Fowler.
And the 2nd round, so they flipped a 2nd and a 4th in 2027. So you're not even paying a full 2nd rounder, right? You're getting a 4th back, right? There's a little bit of
No,
you see what I'm saying? You're getting some value back.
You're moving.
they
you're
got
moving,
the 4th?
So
Yeah.
the St. Louis Blues got the 4th, the Ducks got the 2nd.
You're
So
moving back in the draft.
You're moving back 60 spots, basically.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And listen,
That's
seems
great
like
value.
Good value. That's pretty spectacular.
So I was talking about Kuzmenko. Argument on Cam Fowler there. Problem is you can't call it a deadline deal on account of it
It was the
happened
14th.
before Christmas.
In December.
Yeah, and Cam Fowler makes $4 million this year. I believe there's some retention there.
Yes.
$4 million, and he makes $4 million next year.
Wow.
And so this is a team that not a lot of us expected to make the playoffs. And because he makes $6.5 million per year, so the Anaheim Ducks are also retaining on that deal.
Unreal. And he's their number 2 defenseman because he's paired with Parayko there on the first line.
Yeah.
And he played 21 minutes the first game, 20 the second game, and then game 3 is a little skewed because it ended up 7-2, but he played 19 minutes. Like, they're using him as their number 2 defenseman, and to pay that little to get that on your team is unreal.
Man. Really good value there. And Jets fans aren't going to want to hear this. I want this series to go 7. It's too fun.
It's
I'm
a great
sorry.
series. It's a riot.
I'm sorry, your series is too fun. And I need more of it. It can't be a short series. You weren't allowed to sweep them. And I would prefer it if you didn't win in 5. You may win in 7. You have my permission. But it has to be in 7.
If you
no,
think
it's
about,
too fun.
If you think about the offer sheets for Broberg and Holloway,
Oh.
that Armstrong did, and then firing the head coach at the time he did to bring in somebody who's actually good, you got to think that Doug Armstrong should be GM of the year.
I 100% agree with you, Jeff.
It's either him or Mr. Booger McFarlane. For the complete roster overhaul mid-season. Like, that's an unreal task.
Yeah.
But I would say the moves that Armstrong made are kind of more impressive. I don't know how you rate it, but I think there's a good competition there between those two.
Good arguments.
If I was looking to upgrade my staff, I'd be looking to reach out to whoever works for the St. Louis Blues pro scouting staff. That Cam Fowler pickup's unbelievable.
Oh, and ignore all of Doug Armstrong's calls. All of
He's a
them.
fleecer, eh? He's amazing.
That is do not disturb.
Now,
Can you name for me the head coach before Jim Montgomery?
Drew Bannister.
Oh, you remembered it.
he was a Sabre, wasn't he? Drew Bannister?
Oh, as a player?
I think so.
Oh,
I
don't
completely
remember.
forgot his name.
Drew Bannister. It took me a second. it did
But
take
do
me
you,
a second.
do you remember when
No, he wasn't a
Doug
Sabre.
Armstrong had that press conference and he talked about how
yeah.
he needed to get rid of Bannister because
Montgomery was available.
we have somebody better out there
I
available.
think Bannister's a good coach.
Yeah.
I do, but
But he's not Jim Montgomery. And I think
Jim Montgomery's like a top 5 coach.
I think it's crazy to hear somebody inside the game admit that.
Yes.
Like, there are levels to this thing.
Yes.
And Montgomery's up here and Bannister's down here.
It's like, for example, I find it really interesting that, oh my God, I forgot his name. Who's the guy the Oilers fired at the beginning of last year, like in November?
The coach?
Yeah. Oh my God, why do I forget his
before
name?
Knobloch?
Yes.
Why am I forgetting his
Why
name?
are you forgetting?
Oh,
his name?
Woodcroft.
Woodcroft. Thank you.
And
fun
no one,
stance.
yeah, and everyone's like, he's not a bad coach. It's not his fault, but
He's still not back in the league, is he?
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, he's been sniffing. He's been like rumored to be back and around, but I mean, he tried to redo the Edmonton defense, and it was terrible. Right? It was objectively horrible.
he's going to be like the longest out of work coach with a winning percentage
That was
above like
silly.
Yeah, if he retired today, he might have one of the highest like point percentages ever.
Yep, him and Keefe.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And Keefe went right back to work.
Right back to work. Woodcroft not having a job.
What do you have,
is
Jeff?
very
He's the assistant coach on the World Cup team that's coming up. World Championship team, sorry.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
he has
good.
a job for Team Canada. That's good.
Who are the GMs for that team? I wonder if any of them are looking for a coach, and maybe they get Mr. Woodcroft.
Well, I mean, if rumors are to be believed, and they shouldn't be, the New York Rangers might want Mike Sullivan. And I'm sure Kyle Dubas would be more than happy to let him out of that expensive contract that he's in.
And Dubas, I believe, is with the Canadian staff.
Yeah. And
Woodcroft to the Pens.
maybe. And here's the other deal. There was a rumor yesterday that Tortorella might be in the mix, although Arthur Staples said no.
No, I don't believe that for a moment.
I think that would be weird. Again, it would be going back to another ass-kicking coach. I don't think they need that.
no, I don't believe that for a
Oh,
moment.
no, it's not this year's championship. It was last year.
It was last year. Okay.
Not 2025, 2024. So I don't know where he is right now. Probably just enjoying a boat.
I hope so.
Or Mr. Woodcroft.
Okay,
Pretty good.
The tonight the Caps and Canadians play, the Hurricanes and Devils, and the Kings and Oilers. All series are 2-0. All series are 2-0.
Wow.
I don't. Now here's my question, you guys. Who's got a better chance to win a game in their series? The Canadians or the Devils? We've talked about the Kings and Oilers. Canadians or Devils? Who's most likely to win a game? Because the Devils have also already said that Luke Hughes is not going to play tonight.
Again?
And who was the other guy that was out?
Siegenthaler?
Brendan Dillon and Jonas Siegenthaler was the guy who I think might get in.
Yeah. So it's
Are we getting them?
well, I actually I'm trying to pull up the reporter. Hang on.
I like the tenacity of the Montreal Canadiens. I'll say them. And
Okay.
it's no disrespect to the Devils. It's you made me pick one.
I think
So,
both of them get wins tonight.
You think both of them?
Yeah. I think we're 2-1 in both of those.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I like Montreal, the momentum of just the crowd. I think it can carry them to a win. Like, and they've been close, I think, with the Capitals. I don't know about how you feel, Adam, watching streaming all those games, but I don't feel like they've been too far off from sneaking out a victory.
I think the issue is, by the way, it's my bad here. It's Dillon and Hughes are out. Siegenthaler is a hard maybe, but leaning towards in.
That means in.
Yeah. So Keith cautioned it will be a reduced role, according to Amanda Stein.
That's at least a little better.
That means in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means in. He's playing.
Yeah. I mean, with Montreal, it's interesting, guys. Like Jesse and I were talking about on the watch along pre-show yesterday. Here's what I'm seeing: the Caps are a better team, flat out, straight up. They're better at this. They're good at this.
We all know.
They're amazing. But they're one of the best teams in the league. Number two, I'm going to need the Montreal Canadiens, who role players, I'm going to need one of them to step up and stop the Caps from hitting Cole Caulfield like he's a bowling pin.
Man.
They are Tom Wilson, Alexander Ovechkin. One of the defensemen just crushed him, and I know he's 5'8", but at some point you have to go, hey.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh Anderson did a little bit.
Yeah.
But they both got coincidentals. And it's like, we need you to kind of, if you're going to lose,
It makes me.
you can't be hitting the guy that's actually scoring for you in this series.
It makes me more mad about the 2021 series with the Leafs. It's like, hey, did anyone think about hitting the 160-pound college student?
Right. Who was unbelievable.
Who was so
And got
good
scratched in the first couple of
immediately.
games, too.
Yeah, because who was the coach?
That would be Dom Ducharme. And then I would say this other thing. We talked about it after game one. Guys, Patrick Laine did not play in the third period against the Caps. And when it was 6-on-5 and Montreal's pushing to tie it up, who do they throw out there?
Not him.
Suzuki, Caulfield, Hudson. Who else was on that?
It's a great start.
Yeah, that's great. You know who was out there instead of Patrick Laine?
Who?
Brendan Gallagher, who has had a good series, but I'm
a good
sorry.
season.
He's Brendan Gallagher.
It's Brendan Gallagher versus Patrick Laine. If all things were equal and Patrick Laine was playing to the best of his ability, Brendan
He'd
Gallagher
still be bad at defense.
yeah, but Brendan Gallagher's not out there in that position.
Yeah.
And
No,
I am blown away. Through the first 2 periods, I was like, I said on the stream, I'm like, I don't think I've seen him touch a puck. I haven't even seen his number out there.
He's completely one-dimensional, and the one dimension's not there.
Demidov put some good minutes in with Heineman and Evans.
Yep.
Strong, right?
Yep.
They were digging and whatever, and it's cool because Demidov gives them an ability to finish. I thought Heineman and Evans have played well as depth players.
Great.
That, like, Newhook, Laine thing it's just not a thing. It's just nothing. And I think if you're an $8 million player on this team, on a Montreal team where not a lot of guys make over $8 million, you're a leader no matter what. What's Marty St. Louis supposed to do?
I think, what would it be poor form for all members of the Columbus Blue Jackets to be buying all the Caps gear right now? Because I know they hate this guy.
Yeah.
They're not rooting for him. Oh, I wanted the chance to play. Look how you're treating this experience. Do you think he gets
That
scratched?
quote, I forgot about that quote.
You're on home ice now. You can keep him away from certain situations.
I don't think you scratch him. You got to ride with the ponies that got you there, Steve, or whatever, wherever that.
But like his
you
role
said
now,
ponies. That's more colorful.
his role now is a fourth line player. Like he's with Armia and Newhook. Like that's his line now, and it's not what you've paid. It's not why you've brought in Patrick Laine.
No.
I think that's a bad use of both of those players.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Armia's been a really good defensive player,
And he's been good in this series too.
and Newhook is a very fast, tenacious player. I don't know so much about his finish.
I get Kerfoot vibes from Newhook.
Yeah, that's fair. And Kerfoot's had a very good NHL career.
Sure.
It's a lot of busy
Is
nothing.
it the Alex part?
It might be the play part where he
Shut up.
skates around a lot.
It's not 'cause they
gets
just share a first
opportunities and
name?
can't finish on them.
It took me a moment.
I think the shift chart for Patrick Laine from this past game is something to behold. If you can see there, he starts with Armia and Newhook. He's playing a little.
Which one is
And
he?
then, so he's right there. It says Patrick Laine on the bottom here.
boy.
And things just shut down
How
here.
long is that late? That
When-
shift? 2-minute shift.
Those
when
are
he
some
gets
long
benched.
shifts, too.
So
He got pinned.
He gets benched there, does not play
my
again
guess.
for the rest of the game. And even there, where he's playing in the middle of the second, it's not for a lot of time. It's 2 shifts, and St. Louis just saw enough.
When does the second period start on this graph? Are we able to find out?
Second period would be right here.
Okay, so he took 5 shifts.
He ends the second period there.
So he took
He
5.
didn't play all that much in the first either.
No, he didn't.
No, because he's on the fourth line.
Man, is he hurt? Do you think?
No, he's just not good.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's obviously possible, but I think it's just mentally he's not there. That's my guess. That's strictly
He was so automatic for points this season. He is the most hardcore on-brand player in the league, maybe. Like,
He is everything people say about him.
what are we surprised for? Like, every year, miserable defensively. He picks a few weeks to be not one of the best, the best goal scorer in hockey.
What did he have? Like 9 power play goals in a row? Something like that?
It was every night. It was every.
crazy.
He turned the season around.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It was every night.
It was a cheat code in fantasy because I had him for that stretch, and every night I just get a power play goal.
If you get him at the right time, there's your title. There's your title. He will just shoot the lights out, and then he just pulls this disappearing act. And I it's so hard. You know, we talked about it with Kuzmenko. You know, you're either getting 40 goals or 8. It's so hard to prepare night in and night out when you don't know what version of the player you're getting. And I feel like so much of the playoffs just comes down to preparation. Just do your job. Like, I'm the coach. Let me put all my chess pieces where I'm going to put them, and I trust you guys, and you're going to listen to me. And if you just play the game that we talked about, we might not win, but you're going to play a good game. You have no idea what you're getting from that player.
Right. Right.
He's Ovechkin. He's an ECHL player.
And we could be
He's-
sitting here on Sunday going, man, he scored 3 goals. That was crazy, and they won the game.
And that would continue to be the most on-brand Patrick Laine thing. Oh, he's benched. Sorry, what I meant to say is he has a hat trick.
Yeah, even
him.
strength goals this regular season.
Oh, I don't think he had many.
4.
I'm gonna say 7.
5.
Out of how many goals did he score? Because he missed a lot of time, right?
Yeah, he did miss time. Let me just check and see.
He was automatic, though.
He had 20 goals. 15 came on the power play.
Whoa. So for him not to be
75%.
out there for 6-on-5, I need to emphasize how much of a message that is.
Oh, it's
That's
damning.
huge.
It's damning. It is.
Isn't that's a wild split.
That's a touch of. He's got a touch of God
right here.
on the power play, and
Even strength power play.
It's gone.
15-5. 52 games.
He's a -72 in his career. I just have to say.
Wow, no, plus
nuts.
minus. Throw that up.
I know, but
Yeah.
you're
5 game winning
not going to
goals.
want to look at Connor Bedard's. Adam.
yeah, you're right.
Five
That's
game
not fair to
winning
him.
goals
Worse.
for Laine. But I think like everybody knows what Laine is capable of. When he's not playing at that ability, it's on him because he's not showing up mentally or just with the effort, you know?
But
Which I think is kind of the same thing.
when he's not engaged, he's below replacement level.
Exactly. He's
It's-
your
yeah.
fourth line player who you bench come midway through the second / all the third.
If you were able to, you know how more than 18 skaters can take warm up?
Yeah, yeah.
If you were allowed to dress those 1 or 2 spare guys, like I think after the first period, he doesn't see another shift.
Or is like football, you can just sub guys or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't know. Part of me wishes they could do that for the playoffs. Like,
That'd be, like if the playoffs were like you could have 21 guys on the bench or something.
why not?
But they would also have to build bigger benches.
Well, yeah, because they already can't fit the backup goalie in some of these
The
buildings.
San Jose was so funny.
Oh, man.
That was really funny.
Was it Wall or Stoller?
No, Stoller's sitting-
Okay, Wall got the start. Stoller's over there on the other side of the rink.
And
sitting on a little stool.
And SJ Sharkey's like giving him high fives and
Yeah.
stuff. The fact that he's just wide open there. He's not even glassed in. It's just like
He's just hanging.
screw
Here's,
with him.
here's a chair.
It's literally a bar stool that they roll from the back, and he
Yes.
has to sit all of his equipment on
Which
this thing.
I'm sure feels awesome, like to come in as a relief goalie. Like, okay, so I've just been sitting on a, dude, my hips hurt sitting on this chair.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're not an NHL player.
no, and so I got to get into the game where it's just the hip Olympics, and all I got to do is try not to tear my hip and groin while facing projectiles coming at me the speed of a car.
They got to figure that out. You can't have backup goalies just off in the corner on a stool.
Well, all sports need to. I watch the NBA, and I'm like, why are these guys on like folding chairs?
Yep.
Like, this is NFL too. Like, I don't understand. Like, get them all leather recliners. It's the NFL. What are you talking about? It's very odd.
So a couple of stories outside of playoffs we should talk about.
Yes.
First off, let's start with the sexual assault trial happening in London right now. Now, there were 14 jurors, 11 women and 3 men, and they were sent home basically today because the justice who is ruling over this said there was something that happened over the lunch hour on Wednesday that she needed to discuss.
And there's a publication ban.
And there's a publication ban, so we can't tell you what it is because we don't know, actually. And a mistrial was declared. Now, a lot of people go, okay, well, what does that mean? And so in this case, it could be something with a juror disobeying judge's instructions, discussing the case when they shouldn't have, could also be improper evidence that was put in front of the jurors that shouldn't have been. There's a lot of processes when it comes to a court situation to make sure, especially a high-profile case like this, is done correctly. So I'm just giving you, here's what it could be, but we don't know what it is. And rather than speculate on it, what you need to know is that they're just going to pick a new jury.
Yeah, I feel like this situation was pretty simple, and it seemed more dramatic because of how the information trickled out.
Yes.
Because Wednesday you hear little pieces, and you're like, oh my gosh, something's happening. There's a mistrial, and then you get clarification finally, like 48 hours later, that something just happened with the 14 jurors that they had. Something happened with all of them or one of them. Something. And they just need to pick a new jury. And the trial's going to continue once they get a new jury in there. And that's what the mistrial was.
The word mistrial
It's scary.
Well, it's scary, and a lot of people. I didn't know.
Well, and why would you? Why would you?
You
No, I
don't
know.
work in the field of law.
When I saw mistrial, I was like, "Oh my God! Like this is an enormous story." And they're just going to repick the jury.
Yes.
And the trial is continuing. Which,
They're repicking the jury, I think, today.
listen, it's important to read the article that is attached to the tweet you're reading.
Yes.
But everyone, I think, except Rick Westhead, excluded the part where the trial is not over. It is ongoing and continuing. And a lot of people, because
We don't know this stuff, right?
we don't know this stuff, and this is all happening very fast, and it's social media that's just at all times. And I think everyone, the vast majority of people reading that headline is like, oh, so it's over.
The reaction to it is fair, though. Because
I'm not blaming anybody.
We don't understand.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming anybody.
If somebody has that immediate reaction where they see the word mistrial and they think it's over, oh my gosh, this is a travesty or whatever they think, like that reaction's okay because they're not a lawyer. Yeah. We're not lawyers.
It was
and they just see a scary word.
It was announced while I was on the train, and everyone in my car, like immediately, this guy just like announces it, and like strangers were talking to him about it. Like everyone
Really?
I
happened to you?
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't participate in this conversation at all.
I think a lot of people are paying attention
Who
to
was
it.
this man?
I don't know.
Just guy.
Some guy on the Lakeshore
A guy
East.
on the train stood up and just announced it?
I didn't stand up, but like he said it, and
Just out loud to the car?
yeah, and like people were like, "Oh my god!" And well, and what that could mean is, and like some people had some information about like the law, and I was like, "What's going on?"
That's
here?
This is a wild story.
Yeah, it was weird for me to sit there and be a part of, but it's funny because like I was just waking up from dozing off on the train, and I went, I guess they announced it.
And did you contribute to this?
No, not at all. Not a word.
Public forum?
Nope.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea.
I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
thought so.
it would have been news if Steve Dangle on a GO train rants
Holds
about
a
the
sermon.
trial.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Ding, ding, ding. I have information.
They have declared.
A mistrial.
By the way, a mistrial in any scenario
funny.
means that they can go back and try it again. So
yeah.
that's something like I understand
Well, I didn't
people.
know that. My mom texted me about
Exactly.
this case.
No.
Like
Exactly.
this transcends. This isn't about the game last night. Like a lot of people are paying attention to this case.
Totally.
Yeah. It's different if they said the trial was dismissed.
Charges
Right.
dropped.
Charges dropped. Those are different words.
Not
but
guilty or whatever.
Mistrial feels like those words.
It's a procedural error
To a
That's
person
all.
who's not a lawyer, like mistrial looks an awful lot like dismissed or charges dropped or anything. So like I think the reaction is okay. But always, read the article.
The public
Yes.
wants this. The public wants our justice system to do it right. How many times in the last few years, this case excluded, have you seen on the American side of the border justice that is like an easy slam dunk? Hey, how about you just simply send the person to jail? And they just don't. And I think that people have had their faith in justice systems on both sides of the border. This case is a perfect example of that. Shattered or shaken severely. So it matters a lot. And I think it matters to this judge a lot that this trial is done right. And that's why you're seeing this, right? This is them being very careful.
And what I just talked about, my mom texted me, the GO train town crier. Like this is it's a very high profile case.
What an experience.
I know, it's crazy.
It
That's
was very
nuts.
bizarre. It was very bizarre for me. But the judge, you can imagine, has got to be walking on like extra eggshells that this doesn't become a circus. It's very high profile. Every case is too important to screw up. This is very public. There are lots of people involved, and there are lots of families involved. And like, I assume that courtroom's packed. I don't think we've seen any photos or footage or anything. I don't think we've heard any audio. But there's media there every day. There's the real possibility there that this becomes a carnival, and they're trying to prevent that. And I understand.
Something else outside of that trial, unless you guys have anything else to offer, I just want to offer.
No,
what we
I don't know
and
anything else.
Ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs? Because getting in on the action means getting in on the unexpected. And BetMGM, the official sports betting partner of the NHL, does not want you to miss a moment of thrilling playoff postseason action. And you can bet with BetMGM.
Yes, you can. I don't know if they had a Simone Benoit prop yesterday for the
Might be
OT
time.
winner, but it would have been cool.
Sign up for BetMGM today, and you'll have access to countless NHL betting options, including new look, same-game parlays, teasers, live bets, and so much more. Make every goal and every game matter so much more than it ever has throughout the playoffs with BetMGM.
I got it.
What is it?
On Saturday, Simone Benoit to score the first goal of the game.
No.
101 to 1.
Wow.
A $2 Steve would net you $200
Now,
if he scores the first goal of the game on Saturday.
what about anytime?
Anytime, I don't have that in front of me. You're asking me too much.
101 to 1.
Might be fun.
Yeah.
Might be fun. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 19 plus to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Carolina's got a bit of an issue brewing.
Carolina,
the Hurricanes. Alexander Nikishin, who is their big 23-year-old defenseman, 6'4", 216 pounds, third-round pick in 2020, had total breakout years, 157 points in 193 games for St. Petersburg and KHL, which is crazy.
Wow.
He's a monster. His agents have lost it with the Carolina Hurricanes.
What?
Because
When did this happen?
This happened today. So Carolina announced that they had agreed to terms on an entry-level contract 2 weeks ago.
Hooray.
And that, Nikishin was thrilled, and this is great. But the club has yet to register the contract with the league. Now, Carolina, that means that Carolina can't use him in the playoffs yet. And obviously, Carolina's okay with that because they're up on New Jersey, and why rush him? And the other explanation is because they haven't done that, Nikishin can then play with their Chicago affiliate in their playoff run. Get him some games.
On an ATO?
I'm assuming.
Or a PTO?
PTO or what? I don't know. It could
Tryout?
be an NHL. Yeah, whatever. Nonetheless, the delay in signing has been frustrating to Nikishin and his agents. Now, this is translated from Russia, but here's what they had to say.
Oh, boy. Well, this is his agent.
Agents, yeah. Alex Chernik. Alex Chernik is his name. And
Chernak?
Chernik.
He's double dipping?
Chernykh.
Oh.
Chernik. Carolina is behaving incomprehensibly, and not only for us, but for scouts and representatives of other NHL clubs. This is from RB Sport. Everyone is shocked and outraged, but as I was told, this never surprises because Carolina always behaves like this with everyone. At the moment, we cannot comment on the situation, although he just did, because the club's actions defy common sense. If it continues, Alexander will either go back or we will ask for a trade.
Wow. Wow, that's
Now,
pretty dramatic.
I will say, Carolina does have a bit of a rep for acting a bit this way.
and
He's not wrong on
you can't dump it on Tulski
I'm blaming Mr. Dun-Dun.
because it's been a theme for quite some time, and it predates Tulski. This is the way the Hurricanes operate.
And when you've already announced the contract, to not register it,
That's bullshit.
I could totally understand that frustration. Absolutely.
Totally.
It is funny to hear him comment on the situation, but we can't comment. No comment.
But we get
It's incomprehensible, but no comment.
in a fiery way. Okay, Russian translated to English always sounds very Shakespearean,
Absolutely, yes.
and it's very funny. And also, I always say this, in Russian, there is no difference between the words this and that. So that is why you'll always hear them say like this, and you'll be like, well, that's just a little off.
yeah. They also don't really say I, it's for me. And then they...
Yes.
So it's different syntax or whatever. But you get I don't think anything was lost in translation there. I think we got the point.
Oh, no, I think I understand him quite plainly.
Yeah.
He's
So,
pissed.
What do you think? And without any insight into this, guys, what do you think happens?
Carolina registers the contract because you don't need this bullshit right now.
Okay. Jesse,
It's
former GM yourself.
It's an interesting little predicament they have because I assume Tulski doesn't want to mess with the lineup.
Yeah.
Because they're playing well, and this is an unproven quantity when you already have a good team. Like, where are you inserting this player? And if he doesn't have reason to insert him, I assume if we want to play the Law and Order theme song,
Dung dung.
Dun, dun,
Hey, done.
That's Tom's music.
dun.
I didn't
Right?
get where you were going with
That
it.
is pretty,
I got it.
It's pretty clever, right?
He's a smart guy.
If we play the Law and Order music, maybe Dun doesn't want to register the contract because once he does that, you have to pay out the bonus.
Yes. Yes.
You know, they from that article, it said Tulski said there wouldn't be an issue regarding registering the contract, but waiting to register the deal delays the payout of his $92,000, and obviously impedes his ability to earn $1 million performance bonus.
So you're screwing with his money.
Yeah.
That's
maybe
why
till May
they're
1st.
upset. I think maybe Russian agents want a cut of their $92,000, and the Carolina Hurricanes aren't paying it out.
I think it's the player also.
Yeah, well, yeah, his agent and the player want money, and they
are entitled to.
that they should be getting right now by signing this contract, and they are not getting it.
He's over here with his agents.
Yeah.
Who's paying for his hotel?
Great question. I don't
Right?
know.
Like, he might actually need the money. Right?
I don't know.
He might.
If this was me, I would probably be fussed over $92,000.
What a great way to start off your relationship. Huh?
Yeah, if
Like-
you're the Hurricanes and Nikishin.
Now, one thing
Not
I
great.
will say is that I think agents and GMs yell at each other all the time.
Yes.
It
yes.
rarely plays out publicly like this, but I think there's a lot of F you and then the next day they call each other and get back together.
Yeah, but here's what Russian players have the ability to do and have done in recent memory is a team is like, we want to draft you. And the player goes, I ain't coming.
Well, Orlov and Brent Burns are unrestricted free agents this summer, so I think Nikishin is going to be a big part of what they want to do in the future.
Right. So you might want to dot your I's and,
Cross your T's.
yeah,
Yeah.
you might want to be nice to this young gentleman.
Interesting. Anyway, just thought I'd drop that in your lap. Kind of fun. We'll see what happens. Do we want to do a press conference, Jesse Blake?
Sure.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Could I start with just a quick shout out?
Sure.
So I was at Canadian Tire today, and somebody comes up to me, and he's a staff member there, and his name's Mika, and he said, "Hey, I just
Zibanejad.
It was not DJ Zbad, although they look very similar. these guys.
Kiprasov.
And Mika just wanted to say to you two that he loves you guys. He loves the whole show.
I love you, Mika.
And he said, I've been listening for years, and we were talking about the Leafs, and he's like, listen, I was a baseball guy until the lockout in the early 90s. And he said, I haven't watched a baseball game since. I'm still mad about it. He said,
Wow.
but my girlfriend at the time got me into the Leafs, and that was the year they went to the conference finals. And he said,
Great year.
I have been watching ever since. And he's like, I have not felt this good in a long time. So Mika wanted to do a big shout out, and I shout out Mika.
Got to win 4 games.
Got to win 4 games.
One thing we didn't touch on, because I guess he wasn't too much of a factor in the end result, but Patches went in for Robo.
Yes.
And I think he played a great
Good game.
physical game.
Yep. Tied
And
the team lead in hits.
Are you guys happy with the decision?
I'm happy with the result.
Yes.
Robertson, I think, is now at a point in his career where his greatest weakness, what is it? At times we could say it was skating. At times we could say it was defense or discipline. His greatest weakness is consistency. Mm-hmm. We know what kind of player he can be, and that's why he's still here. It's consistently bringing that out. Max Pacioretty, well, he's going to be huge and lay a ton of hits. And what does he do? He lays 7 of them.
And he's a bigger body, I think, than people realize. This is a big, thick man.
I have met this man. He is a big, thick man. He is a bull in a china shop, and he was that last night. And now you have great options for Game 4. You have Max Pacioretty, who's obviously fresh as a daisy, shot out of a cannon, or healthy scratch Nick Robertson.
Right, which is great. Now, I
Cheat
like
code.
this. I like this for them because if they need scoring depth, Nick Robertson's the guy. If you need a guy to wear down defenseman on the forecheck, Max Pacioretty's your guy, right? It's hit, forecheck, hit, dump the puck in, hit.
Well-
like just keep wearing them down.
They're on home ice. They're probably going to have more of the puck than they did in games 1 and 2, which means they're going to be eligible to be hit more than they were in games 1 and 2. Max, have fun. Dude, did you see the camera shot of him during, right before the game began? He looked like he was trying to figure out, he looked angry and like he was trying to figure out how each individual senator tasted. Holy, that was a scary man. That was a scary face.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jesse, what'd you think?
I 100% agree. I think the amount of hits that Max Pacioretty has thrown this season is a crazy amount for the amount of little games he's played. He has the 4th highest hit total of his career in only 37 games.
It's crazy.
What?
Which, yeah.
Holy shit.
If you look at his hit totals per season, like this is 4th this year in 37 games. The other 3 ahead of it are full game seasons. So he's proven that his role on this team is to throw bodies. Like throw his body around and throw the other team's bodies around. And I think he did an excellent job of that last night. And that's kind of what you're asking for him at this point. Because we're not asking Max Pacioretty to score goals.
Not like he used to. No. He's not the 30 goal guy.
He's allowed.
He's allowed.
He is my permission.
No one's telling him to not do it.
No,
but it's
no.
not what we're asking of him. And it's a very specific role. And it's interesting that they made the decision because Nick Robertson's role is to specifically score goals.
Yes.
Right? So it gives you a look at to what Berube wanted on the road against the Sens is we're going to take away that lower in the lineup goal scoring that Nick Robertson can provide and go for somebody who's just going to be out there to cause chaos.
His Max Pacioretty has the 2nd highest hits per 60 or had the 2nd highest hits per 60 on the Leafs out of anyone who's played a playoff game for them this year.
Wow.
So he finished 6th with 12.61, but the guys ahead of him are Reeves with 22.
Doesn't count.
Who hasn't played. Alex Steves, he's not on the team. Connor Dewar, very literally not in the organization anymore. Steven Lorentz leads it, 14. Grabenkin is up there just ahead of Max Pacioretty. Guy is a bull in a china shop.
We had a question here from Mo Bailey Joe that I thought was very fascinating and a good thought exercise. They wrote, if pay was determined only by playoff success, who would be the highest paid in the league? You recently went over the highest scorers in the playoffs in recent years based on point totals and PPG. Is it Leon? Is it Cooch? Is it Nate? Is it Joe Wall?
I think it's Leon and Cooch at the top.
Well, I mean, the reigning Conn Smythe winner is Connor McDavid.
That's true.
So I think.
But let's
Leon
say
makes
it's
more.
got to be like a 5-year sample size.
Rantanen.
Oh shit! Yeah, Rantanen, Makar, Nate, all make double digits.
I think like all the Lightning guys.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Luke Shen is a $7 million defenseman.
Brayden Point.
Is Vasilevsky the highest paid player in the league?
Him and
Highest paid
Bobrovsky.
goalie, certainly.
Him and Bobrovsky.
Right. But Vasilevsky did it 3 straight playoff rounds.
He did.
Right.
Bobrovsky's
Hedman-
only done it. Well, this
Well,
is
he's done it 2. He
Yeah.
might do it 3.
Hedman wouldn't make less than $8 million.
Oh, yeah.
God's sake.
Who else would get like a crazy amount of money who's like lower in the lineup but always delivers? Like Hartman would get money. We've talked about him a little. He's been great in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
no
That's a
kidding.
good pick.
Yeah.
I mean, think about again. If it's only scoring, it's a little unfair. But like Patrice Bergeron would have been,
Yeah.
he would have been pretty high.
Binnington, I think already gets his playoff pay during the regular season, which skews the perception of him.
Barkov.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Barkov would make a lot more money.
Yeah. I'm trying to think too of like.
Oh, Lusterinen and let's talk about guys who could get raises. Lusterinen and Lundell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to think about. I'm trying to think of like the unsung heroes that always show up. Like how does Anthony Cirelli's pay go up? How does Nick
OT
Paul's
winner.
How does Nick Paul's pay go up? How does Nick Cousins' pay go up?
That's very interesting.
You know what I mean? Like where would they factor in? Because those guys are playoff guys. You see more from. They factor in more. I'm just trying to think of other depth guys that I'm just pulling out of my like.
Cam Fowler's about to make $17 million.
What would be like Vegas? Who's like a depth guy for Vegas that always comes through for them?
Like Nick Hague,
Yeah.
Keegan Colasar. Oh, Josh Waugh?
Or Nicholas Roy?
Or is it Nicholas Waugh?
think it's
It's Nicholas Waugh.
Yeah.
Nicolas Waugh.
Nick Waugh?
Nick Waugh. Who's Joshua?
Joshua Roy?
Josh Roy? Joshua.
Yeah.
Joshua.
He's just Joshua.
Joshua?
Just Joshua. Yeah.
Is there a Josh?
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a few.
All right. So I pulled up all-time leaders in playoff game-winning goals.
Oh, Anton Hudobin. Sorry.
I like that. Okay. Who do we have, Jess?
Amongst players still active, Matt, you can throw this on the screen. We got Malkin with 13, Marchand with 13, and then Mr. Andre Palat.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Who is also tied at 13. Andre Palat is 1 goal away from being the active NHL leader in game-winning goals.
Wow.
Truly psychotic.
Wow. I love Andre Palat. I do.
Unreal player. How do we miss him?
Ooh, that's crazy.
I think
Game-winning playoff goals.
Yes.
Let me specify, yeah.
Doug Gilmour's up there, too.
The list from all time is Gretzky, Hall, Lemieux, Sakic, Pavelski.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Chris Drury.
Damn.
Got an extension, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Someone was like in the chat. They're like, "So, how do you think the Rangers players are going to revolt?" Like, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I think this extension seals the deal that they will not.
Yeah, it's like when Napoleon said to the French, the revolution is officially over. And I feel like that's what James Dolan is saying. The revolution is over. Good luck.
Yeah,
You're stuck
good luck.
here.
Can you guys give me the top 5 active players in playoff career goals?
I mean,
Some of the answers are very obvious.
So Kucherov, I would think Rantanen, Draisaitl for sure.
oh man.
Playoff goals in a career, Adam. Not
In a
just,
career.
Not just like
Well,
the last
Sid.
couple
Corey
years.
Perry.
Sid.
So Corey Perry is number 5.
Sid.
Wow.
Sydney.
Sid.
Sidney Crosby is number 2.
Okay.
Ovi.
Ovi's number 1.
Oh,
Okay,
that
first base.
makes sense. Yeah.
He leads everybody in goals. Isn't it?
Ovi, hey, listen, he's tied with Simone Benoit in game overtime winners. So
far you have Ovi.
That's wild.
yeah, isn't that nuts?
So
Completely
far you
wild.
have Ovi, Crosby, blank, Perry.
So Mikko Rantanen is not on there.
He is not.
Okay.
No.
Patrice Bergeron. No,
Kopitar?
it's playing. People playing.
Kopitar is incorrect.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you guys 2 more guesses, and then we will
And again,
call it a show.
it's playoff goals, right?
Playoff goals, active players.
Would Patrick Kane be on there?
Oh yes.
Are you submitting that?
Submitting.
Incorrect.
Oh, my God.
So now you can only get 1 out of the 2 left. You only have 1 guess left.
Okay.
There's an obvious one.
Oh, what are we missing?
So we did. Did we do Malkin?
No.
Would it be? Oh, we didn't do Malkin?
Malkin.
Malkin is
Sorry.
correct.
Sorry, it's because we did him for the.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Crosby, then Malkin. I'll give you one more guess.
I almost said Brian Rust.
I'll give you one more guess at number 4.
Now, Jesse did make a big stink about Jake Gensel. Has he played enough playoff games to be on this list?
Jake Ensel, who had a terrible game too.
Yeah.
A couple of bad penalties.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Gensel. There's who was another guy I was looking at? Braden Point.
Ooh. I think he needs to be a little older.
Oh, okay.
Can I give you a hint? Do you want a hint?
Yeah.
Sure.
He got traded this season.
Man, that doesn't help. Okay,
It
wait.
should.
Okay, he was traded this season. Cam Fowler.
Yanni Gord. No, I'm kidding.
Yanni.
Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Yanni Gord. Oliver Bjorkstrand.
No, it's got to be older guys.
Justin Brazeau. I know. I'm just listing everybody.
This is your last guess.
And
Number
it's
4
not
on
Corey
the list.
Perry? Did we say Corey
We
Perry?
said
Yeah,
Corey
he's
Perry.
number 5.
And he didn't get
Ovechkin, Crosby, Malkin, blank,
Coyle.
Perry.
Nelson.
Traded this season. Eastern Conference player.
Oh, currently an Eastern Conference player.
Traded within the Eastern Conference.
Oh,
Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand. Number 4.
How did we not think of that?
On the
'cause we're
all-time
stupid people.
goals list amongst active players.
him.
You can see it there. Gretzky's 1, Messier 2, Curry 3, Hull 4, Anderson 5. And then we go to Crosby at 18, Malkin at 22, Marchand at 45, Perry at 47.
Speaks to how incredible
I'm sorry,
all those
Ovechkin
teams have
13.
been.
I just want to shout out my therapist for allowing me to forget Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
they're doing
shouldn't
their
have
job.
taken you guys that long.
Shout out.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Anything else?
I think
wrap it?
we're
I
good
think
there.
you're all
We
correct.
didn't really touch on Avs stars.
We didn't.
Them blowing Landeskog's comeback game, unforgivable.
yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. The emotional pop of that.
Yeah, you
This
gotta
might-
win that.
This might be the worst bracket I've ever created. Ever. Like, thank God the Leafs are up
To be
3-0.
fair,
Otherwise,
though,
I'd be miserable.
most of the staff created the same bracket with you. We mostly, as a staff, voted about the same way.
a lot of people had the Avs in the final. So we'll see how this goes.
I haven't seen a lot of brackets that didn't have the same 4 in the West.
Yep.
I feel like everybody was on those 4.
Yep.
Who was it? Jets?
Avs, Golden
Avs.
Knights, Jets, and What's the other one? Why am I blanking?
Avs, Golden Knights, Jets, and Blues.
Oilers, Kings.
Oilers and
King-
Kings.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like everybody had those 4, the Kings as well.
Yeah.
And it's never plays out like that.
Well, we will see.
All right. So we will be back on Sunday, right after the Leaf game.
Right.
So everybody, new SCP Sunday. Sunday. Enjoy your hockey this weekend, and we will see you in a couple of days. Anything else to add?
I hope the Maple Leafs win.
Me too.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.